Hello, how are you? How many? One, two, three, or six? But I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't. Intermix, hector. YouTube, subscribe. Hector. YouTube, subscribe. Hector. YouTube, subscribe. Hector. YouTube, subscribe. Mash up, push up, bam, mix, do, ja. Here we go. This is my show, and we're gonna read this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Into mi sector, subscribe. Yo soy chileno. I can speak English and Spanish. I can speak English and Spanish. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Need a girlfriend, need a girlfriend, need a girlfriend, need a girlfriend. I love you, I love you, I love you. Into mi sector, subscribe. YouTube, into mi sector, subscribe.
International Security Assistance Force Wikipedia. The International Security Assistance Force ISAF was a multinational military mission in Afghanistan from 2001 to 2014. It was established by United Nations Security Council Resolution 1386 pursuant to Theban Agreement, which outlined the establishment of a permanent Afghan government following the U.S. invasion in October 2001-3. ISAF's primary goal was to train Afghan National Security Forces and assist Afghanistan in rebuilding key government institutions. It gradually took part in the broader war in Afghanistan against the Taliban insurgency. ISAF's initial mandate was to secure the Afghan of Kabul and its surrounding area against opposition forces to facilitate the formation of Afghan Transitional Administration headed by Hamid Karzai IV. In 2003, NATO took command of the mission at the request of the UN and Afghan government, marking its first deployment outside Europe and North America. Shortly thereafter, the UN Security Council expanded ISAF's mission to provide and maintain security beyond the capital region. 5. ISAF incrementally broadened its operations in 4 stages, and by 2006 took responsibility for the entire country. ISAF subsequently engaged in more intensive combat in southern and eastern Afghanistan. 6. At its peak between 2010 and 2012, ISAF had 400 military bases throughout Afghanistan compared to 300 for the ANZ-7 and roughly 130,000 troops. A total of 42 countries contributed troops to ISAF, including all 30 members of NATO. Personnel contributions varied greatly throughout the course of the mission. Initially, Canada was the largest contributor, though by 2010 the United States accounted for the majority of troops, followed by the United Kingdom, Turkey, Germany, France, and Italy. Nations such as Georgia, Denmark, Norway, and Estonia were among the largest contributors per capita. The intensity of the combat faced by participating countries varied greatly, with the U.S. sustaining the most casualties overall, while British, Danish, Estonian, and Georgian forces suffered the most deaths for their size. Pursuant to its ultimate aim of transitioning security responsibilities to Afghan forces, ISAF ceased combat operations and was disbanded in December 2014. A number of troops remained to serve a supporting and advisory role as part of its successor organization, the Resolute Support Mission. Jurisdiction edit. For almost 2 years, the ISAF mandate did not go beyond the boundaries of Kabul. According to General Norbert Van Hees, such a deployment would require at least 10,000 additional soldiers. The responsibility for security throughout the whole of Afghanistan was to be given to the newly reconstituted Afghan National Army. However, on 13 October 2003, the Security Council voted unanimously to expand the ISAF mission beyond Kabul, with Resolution 1510. Shortly thereafter, Canadian Prime Minister Arjun Krishalin said that Canadian soldiers, nearly half the entire force at that time, would not deploy outside Kabul. On 24 October 2003, the German Bundestag voted to send German troops to the region off Kunduz. Approximately 230 additional soldiers were deployed to that region, marking the first time that ISAF soldiers operated outside of Kabul. After the Afghan parliamentary election in September 2005, the Canadian base camp Julin in Kabul closed, and the remaining Canadian assets were moved to Kandahar as part of Operation Enduring Freedom in preparation for a significant deployment in January 2006. On 31 July 2006, the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force assumed command of the south of the country, ISAF Stage 3, and by 5 October, also of the east of Afghanistan, ISAF Stage 4. ISAF was mandated beyond Security Council Resolutions 1386, 1413, 1444, 1510, 1563, 1623, 1659, 1707, 1776, 9 and 1917, 2010. The last of these extended the mandate of ISAF to 23 March 2011. The mandates given by the different governments to their forces varied from country to country. Citation needed. This meant that ISAF suffered from a lack of United Aims. Citation needed. History edit. Geographic depiction of the four ISAF stages. January 2009. The initial ISAF headquarters SAF was based on 3rd UK Mechanized Division, led at the time by Major General John McCall. This force arrived in December 2001. Until ISAF expanded beyond Kabul, the force consisted of a roughly division-level headquarters and one brigade covering the capital, the Kabul Multinational Brigade. The brigade was composed of 3 battle groups and was in charge of the tactical command of deployed troops. ISAF headquarters served as the operational control center of the mission. 18 countries were contributors to the force in February 2002, and it was expected to grow to 5,000 soldiers. 10 Turkey assumed command of ISAF in June 2002. Major General Hilmi Akin Zorlu, chief of Turkish Army Plans and Policy. 11 During this period, the number of Turkish troops increased from about 100 to 1,300. In November 2002, ISAF consisted of 4,650 troops from over 20 countries. Around 1,200 German troops served in the force alongside 250 Dutch soldiers operating as part of a German-led battalion. Turkey relinquished command in February 2003 and assumed command for a second time in February 2005. Turkey's area of operations expanded into the rugged west of Afghanistan. The expansion of its zone of activities saw ISAF troops operating in 50% of Afghanistan, double its previous responsibility. 12. On 10 February 2003, German Lieutenant General Norbert van Hees took command of ISAF, with Brigadier General Bert Holly of the Netherlands serving as deputy. The mission HQ was formed from HQ German/Dutch Corps 1 GNC, including staff from the UK, Italy, Turkey, Norway, and others. 13 In March 2003, ISAF was composed of 4,700 troops from 28 countries. Service in ISAF by NATO personnel from 1 June 2003 onward earns the right to wear the NATO medal if a service member met a defined set of tour-length requirements. In Kabul on 7 June 2003, a taxi packed with explosives rammed a bus carrying German ISAF personnel, killing 4 soldiers and wounding 29 others. 1 Afghan bystander was killed and 10 Afghan bystanders were wounded. The 33 German soldiers, after months on duty in Kabul, were en route to the Kabul International Airport for their flight home to Germany. At the time, German soldiers made up more than 40% of ISAF troops. ISAF command originally rotated among different nations every 6 months. However, there was tremendous difficulty securing new lead nations. To solve the problem, the command was turned over indefinitely to NATO on 11 August 2003. 13 This marked NATO's first deployment outside Europe or North America. In February 2002, South Korea sent a medical contingent of 99 soldiers. Between February and July 2002, Portugal sent a sanitary team and an air team to ISAF. A study by CARE International in the summer of 2003 reported that Kosovo had 1 peacekeeper to 48 people, East Timor for every 86, while Afghanistan has just 1 for every 5,380 people. Stage 1 to the north completed October 2004 edit. On 11 August 2003, NATO took command of ISAF, which consisted of 5,000 troops from more than 30 countries. About 90% of the force was contributed by NATO nations. By far the largest single contingent, 1,950 were Canadian. About 2,000 German troops were involved, and Romania had about 400 troops at the time. The first ISAF rotation, under the command of NATO, was led by Lieutenant General Goetz Gleemer, Germany, with Canadian Army Major General Andrew Leslie his deputy. Canada originally had been slated to take over command of ISAF on 11 August 2003. 13 October 2003, Resolution 1510 passed by the UN opened the way to a wider role for ISAF to support the government of Afghanistan beyond Kabul. In December 2003, then Atlantic Council authorized the Supreme Allied Commander, Europe General James Jones, to initiate the expansion of ISAF by taking over command of the German-led PRT in Kunduz. The other 8 PRTs operating in Afghanistan in 2003 remained under the command of Operation Enduring Freedom, the continuing U.S.-led military operation in Afghanistan. On 31 December 2003, the military component of the Kunduz PRT was placed under ISAF command as a pilot project and first step in the expansion of the mission. 6 months later, on 28 June 2004, at the summit meeting of the NATO heads of state and government in Istanbul, NATO announced that it would establish 4 other provincial reconstruction teams in the north of the country, in Mazar-e-Sharif, Maymana, Faizabad and Baghlan. After the completion of Stage 1, the ISAF's area of operations then covered about 3,600 square kilometers in the north, and the mission was able to influence security in 9 northern provinces of the country. 14. As late as November 2003, the entire ISAF force had only 3 helicopters. On 9 February 2004, Lieutenant General Rick Hillier of Canada took command, with Major General Werner Court of Germany as deputy. During this time frame, Canada was the largest contributor to the ISAF force, providing 2,000 troops. In May 2004, Turkey sent 3 helicopters and 56 flight and maintenance personnel to work in ISAF. In July 2004, Portugal sent 24 soldiers and 1 C-130 Hercules cargo plane to assist ISAF. On 7 August 2004, General Jean-Louis Pai, commander of Furicorps, took command of ISAF. Furicorps contributors deploying to Afghanistan included France, Germany, Spain, Belgium and Luxembourg. Canada reduced its forces to about 800 personnel. In September 2004, a Spanish battalion of about 800 personnel arrived to provide the ISAF Quick Reaction Force. An Italian army battalion of up to 1,000 troops arrived to provide the AIM Theater Operational Reserve Force. With a force of 100, Georgia became the first Commonwealth of Independent States country to send an operational force to Afghanistan. Stage 1 North was completed in October 2004 under the regional command of Germany. Stage 2 to the west completed September 2005 edit. In February 2005, General Timur of Turkey took command. On 10 February 2005, NATO announced that ISAF would be expanded into the west of Afghanistan. This process began on 31 May 2006 when ISAF took command of 2 additional provincial reconstruction teams in the provinces of Herat and Farah, and of a forward support base, a logistic base, in Herat. At the beginning of September, 2 additional ISAF-led PRTs in the west became operational, one in Chagchuran, capital of Bor province, and one in Kala-i-Nah, capital of Baghdad province. This completed ISAF's expansion into the west. The extended ISAF mission led a total of 9 PRTs in the north and the west, providing security assistance in 50% of Afghanistan's territory. As the area of responsibility was increased, ISAF also took command of an increasing number of PRTs, with the aim of improving security and facilitating reconstruction outside the capital. The first 9 PRTs and lead nations were based at Baghlan, Netherlands, then Hungary. In October 2006, Chagchuran, Lithuania, Farah, US. Faizabad, Germany, Herat, Italy, Kunduz, Germany, Mazar-e-Sharif, UK, then Denmark and Sweden, then Sweden and Finland, Maymana, UK, then Norway, Kala-i-Nah, Spain. In May 2005, ISAF Stage 2 took place, doubling the size of the territory for which ISAF was responsible. The new area was the former U.S. Regional Command West, consisting of Baghdad, Farah, Bor, and Herat provinces. On 5 August 2005, Italian General Mauro Del Vecchio assumed command of ISAF. During 2005, Italy commanded 4 multinational military operations in Afghanistan, Bosnia, Kosovo, and Albania. In September 2005, ISAF Stage 2 was completed under the regional command of Italy. The alliance also temporarily deployed 2,000 additional troops to Afghanistan to support 18 September provincial and parliamentary elections. 14. On 27 January 2006, it was announced in the British Parliament that ISAF would replace U.S. Operation Enduring Freedom troops in Helmand province. The British 16th Air Assault Brigade became the core of the force in Helmand province. In February 2006, the Netherlands expanded its troop contribution with an extra 1,400 soldiers. 15. On 22 May 2006, a British Army U-64 Apache gunship fired a Hellfire missile to destroy a French armored vehicle that had been disabled during a firefight with Taliban forces in North Helmand province the previous day, as it had been determined that attempting to recover the vehicle vehicle would have been too dangerous. This was the first time UK Apaches had opened fire in a hostile theater and was, after a fashion, the WA-64's first combat kill. Stage 3, to the south, completed July 2006 edit. On 8 December 2005, meeting at NATO headquarters in Brussels, the Allied foreign ministers endorsed a plan that paved the way for an expanded ISAF role and presence in Afghanistan. The first element of this plan was the expansion of ISAF to the south in 2006, also known as Stage 3. At the completion of this stage, the ISAF assumed command of the southern region of Afghanistan from US-led coalition forces, expanding its area of operations to cover an additional 6 provinces: Day-Kundig, Helmand, Kandahar, Nimroz, Uruzgan, and Jabal, and taking on command of 4 additional PRs. The expanded ISAF led a total of 13 PRs in the north, west, and south, covering some 3/4 of Afghanistan's territory. The number of ISAF forces in the country also increased significantly, from about 10,000 prior to the expansion to about 20,000 after 14. On 4 May 2006, United Kingdom General David Richards assumed command of the ISAF X-Force in Afghanistan. The mission was led by Field Rapid Reaction Corps. On 31 July 2006, Stage 3 was completed. The NATO-led International Security Assistance Force also assumed command in 6 provinces of the South. Regional Command South was established at Kandahar. Led by Canada, 8,000 soldiers were positioned there, with the Taliban regrouping, especially in its birthplace of Kandahar province bordering Pakistan. NATO launched its biggest offensive against the guerrillas at the weekend of 2 and 3 September 2006, Operation Medusa. NATO reported that it had killed more than 250 Taliban fighters, but the Taliban stated that NATO casualty estimates were exaggerated. On 7 September 2006, a British soldier was killed and 6 were wounded when their patrol strayed into an unmarked minefield in Helmand, the major opium poppy growing province west of Kandahar. On 28 September 2006, the North Atlantic Council gave final authorization for the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force NATO ISAF to expand its area of operations to 14 additional provinces in the east of Afghanistan, boosting NATO's presence and role in the country. With this further expansion, NATO ISAF assisted the government of Afghanistan in providing security throughout the entire country. 16. The expansion saga. NATO ISAF controlling 32,000 troops from 37 countries, although by this stage, the alliance was struggling to find extra troops to hold off a spiraling Taliban-led insurgency in the volatile south. Stage 4. ISAF takes responsibility for entire country, completed October 2006 edit. On 5 October 2006, ISAF implemented the final stage of its expansion by taking over command of the international military forces in eastern Afghanistan from the US-led coalition. In addition to expanding the alliance's area of operations, the revised operational plan also paved the way for a greater ISAF role in the country. This includes the deployment of ISAF operational mentoring and liaison teams to Afghan National Army units at various levels of command. 14. 10,000 more coalition troops moved under NATO command. 31,000 ISAF troops were now in Afghanistan and 8,000 U.S. troops continued separate training and counter-terrorism activities. On 21 October 2006, the Canadian government expressed frustration over the unwillingness of some European NATO members to deploy troops to help fight mounting Taliban resistance in the South. Citation needed. ISAF after Stage 4, October 2006 to 2014 edit. Anaconda's strategy versus the insurgents as of 20 October 2010. In November 2006, a study by Federal Coordinating and Monitoring Board made up of the Afghan government, its key foreign backers and the UN, suggested that more than 3,700 people died from January to November 2006. The majority of the dead appeared to be insurgents, but it was estimated that 1,000 civilians had been killed that year, along with members of the Afghan National Army (ISAF) and U.S. Operation Enduring Freedom Forces. 17. On 28-29 November 2006, there was a NATO summit at Riga, Latvia. Combat curbs were the most contentious issue at the two-day summit in Latvia, following tension over the reluctance of France, Germany, Spain, and Italy to send troops to southern Afghanistan. Countries agreeing to ease the restrictions on deployment against the Taliban insurgency included the Dutch, Romanians, and smaller nations such as Slovenia and Luxembourg. France, Germany, Spain, and Italy agreed to send help to trouble zones outside their areas, but only in emergencies. The summit also saw several countries offer additional troops and training teams. France agreed to send more helicopters and aircraft. NATO commanders said they believed they could move an additional 2,500 troops around the country after some smaller members relaxed their mission. Conditions 18. On 15 December 2006, ISAF started a new offensive Operation Bazooka Falcon Summit against the Taliban in Theppanjaway Valley in Kandahar province. On 4 February 2007, U.S. General Dan K. McNeill replaced British General David Richards as commander of ISAF. Analysts reported that he planned to place a heavier emphasis on fighting than on peace deals. 19 Meanwhile, observers and commanders were expecting a new Taliban spring offensive, and NATO commanders asked for more troops. On 6 March 2007, NATO-ISAF launched Operation Achilles, an offensive to bring security to northern Helmand and set the conditions for meaningful development that would fundamentally improve the quality of life for Afghans in the area. The operation eventually involved more than 4,500 NATO troops and nearly 1,000 Afghan soldiers in Helmand province, according to the alliance. It focused on improving security in areas where Taliban extremists, narco-traffickers and other elements were trying to destabilize the government of Afghanistan, and on empowering village elders. The overarching purpose was to assist the government in improving its ability to begin reconstruction and economic development in the area. Strategically, the goal was also to enable the government to begin Thekajiki Hydro Energy Project 20. On 2 June 2008, General David D. McKiernan, U.S. Army, assumed command of ISAF. As of January 2009, updated its troops numbered around 55,121. There were troops from 26 NATO, 10 partner and 2 non-NATO/non-partner countries. 21. On 6-7 February 2009, UK forces mounted Operation Diesel Raid in Helmand province. On 27 April 19 May 2009, ISAF launched Operations Zafar and Zafar 2 in the Helmand province. Operation Zafar lasted 1 week and Operation Zafar 2 lasted 4 days. Both operations were in preparation for Operation Panther's Claw. On 29 May 2009, ISAF launched Operation Marle around the village of Yatimche, 6 kilometers 3.7 miles south of Musa Kalha in Helmand province. Operation Marlu lasted 3 days. Marlu is Pashto snake wolf. Soft 90-day accumulated effect. 23 September 10. On 15 June 2009, General Stanley A.M.C. Crystal, U.S. Army, assumed command of NATO forces. On 19 June 2009, ISAF launched Operation Panther's Claw to secure control of various canal and river crossings in Helmand province and to establish a lasting ISAF presence in an area described by Lt. Col Richardson as one of the main Taliban strongholds ahead of the 2009 Afghan presidential election. On 2 July 2009, ISAF launched Operation Strike of the Sword or Operation Panther in Helmand province. This operation was the largest U.S. Marine offensive since the Battle of Alia Iraq Operation Phantom Furor in 2004. Beginning 2010, the Afghanistan Mission Network became the primary information sharing platform for all troops in Afghanistan in support of General M.C. Crystal's counterinsurgency campaign. On 23 June 2010, Lieutenant General Sir Nick Parker, British Army, former Deputy Commander of ISAF, assumed interim command after the resignation of General M.C. Crystal. On 4 July 2010, General David Petraeus, U.S. Army, assumed command of NATO forces. Petraeus was formally approved by the U.S. Senate to replace M.C. Crystal on 30 June 2010-22. Colombia had planned to deploy around 100 soldiers in spring 2009. 23-24 These forces were expected to be demining experts. 25-26 General Freddy Padilla D. Lin announced talks news that operators of Colombia's Special Forces Brigade were scheduled to be deployed to Afghanistan in either August or September 2009-27. However, the Colombians were not listed as part of the force as of June 2011. 3 NATO states announced withdrawal plans beginning in 2010. Canada in 2011, 28 Poland in 2012, 29, and the United Kingdom in 2010. 30 between 1 July 2014 and August. Regional Command Capital and Regional Command West Array designated train advise and assist Command Capital TOC Capital and TOC West. 31 The United States ended combat operations in Afghanistan in December 2014. Sizable advisory forces would remain to train and mentor often national security forces, and NATO will continue operating under their resolute support mission. ISAF Joint Command, in its final deployment provided by Headquarters via Airborne Corps, ceased operations ahead of the end of the NATO combat mission on 8 December 2014. 32. Security and Reconstruction Edit. From 2006, the insurgency by the Taliban intensified, especially in the southern Pashtun parts of the country, areas that were the Taliban's original power base in the mid-1990s. After ISAF took over command of the South on 31 July 2006, British, Dutch, Canadian and Danish ISAF soldiers in the provinces of Afghanistan and Kandahar came under almost daily attack. British commanders said that the fighting for them was the fiercest since the Korean War 50 years previously. In an article, BBC reporter Alastair Leadhead, embedded with the British forces, called it deployed to Afghanistan's hell. 33. Because of the security situation in the south and the mass rape and killings of Afghan women by suspected Taliban, ISAF commanders asked member countries to send more troops. On 19 October, the Dutch government decided to send more troops because of increasing attacks by suspected Taliban on the task force Oeruzgan, making it difficult to complete the reconstruction work that they sought to accomplish. Derogatory alternative acronyms for the ISAF were created by critics, including I saw Americans fighting 34, I suck at fighting, and in sandals and flip-flops. 35. ISAF and the illegal opium economy edit. Prior to October 2008, ISAF had only served an indirect role in fighting the illegal opium economy in Afghanistan for shared intelligence with the Afghan government, protection of Afghan poppy crop eradication units, and helping in the coordination and the implementation of the country's counter-narcotics policy. For example, Dutch soldiers used military force to protect eradication units that came under attack. Crop eradication often affects the poorest farmers, who have no economic alternatives on which to fall back. Without alternatives, these farmers no longer can feed their families, causing anger, frustration, and social protest. Thus, being associated with this counterproductive drug policy, ISAF soldiers on the ground found it difficult to gain the support of the local population. 36. Though problematic for NATO, this indirect role allowed NATO to avoid the opposition of the local population who depended on the poppy fields for their livelihood. In October 2008, NATO altered its position in an effort to curb the financing of insurgency by the Taliban. Drug laboratories and drug traders became the targets, and not the poppy fields themselves. 37. In order to satisfy France, Italy, and Germany, the deal involved the participation in an anti-drug campaign only of willing NATO member countries. The campaign was to be short-lived and with the cooperation of the Afghans. 37. On 10 October 2008, during a news conference, after an informal meeting of NATO defense ministers in Budapest, Hungary, NATO spokesman James Apathery said 38, with regard to counter-narcotics, based on the request of the Afghan government, consistent with the appropriate UN Security Council resolutions, under the existing operational plan, ISAF can act in concert with the Afghans against facilities and facilitators supporting the insurgency, subject to the authorization of respective nations. The idea of a review is indeed envisioned for an upcoming meeting. Military and civilian casualties said it. ISAF military casualties and the civilian casualties caused by the war and coalition/ISAF friendly fire became a major political issue, both in Afghanistan and in the troop contributing nations. Increasing civilian casualties threatened the stability of President Hamid Karzai's government. Consequently, effective from 2 July 2009, coalition air and ground combat operations were ordered to take steps to minimize Afghan civilian casualties in accordance with a tactical directive issued by General Stanley A. McChrystal, USA, the commander of the International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan. 39. Another issue over the years has been numerous insider attacks involving Afghan soldiers opening fire on ISAF soldiers. While these diminished, in part due to the planned ending of combat operations on 31 December 2014, they continued to occur, albeit at a lower frequency. On 5 August 2014, a gunman believed to have been an Afghan soldier opened fire on a number of international soldiers, killing a U.S. General Harold J. Greene, and wounding about 15 officers and soldiers, including a German brigadier general and several U.S. soldiers, at a training academy near Kabul. 40. ISAF command structure as of 2011 edit. Throughout the 4 different regional stages of ISAF, the number of provincial reconstruction teams PRs grew. The expansion of ISAF to November 2006 to all provinces of the country brought the total number of PRs to 25. The 25th PRT, Atwerdik, was established that month and was led by Turkey. Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, at Brunsum, the Netherlands, was ISAF's superior NATO headquarters. 41 The headquarters of ISAF was located in Kabul. In October 2010, there were 6 regional commands, each with subordinate task forces and provincial reconstruction teams. The lower strength numbers of the ISAF forces were as 6 October 2008 42. The numbers also reflected the situation in the country. The north and west were relatively calm, while ISAF and Afghan forces in the south and east came under almost daily attack. In December 2014, the force reportedly numbered 18,636 from 48 states. 43. ISAF HQ at Kabul Composite. Commander ISAF directed 3 subordinate formations after a 2009 reorganization. The Intermediate Joint Command, sometimes reported as ISAF Joint Command 44, has been established to run the tactical battle on the lines of multi-national corps Iraq. Lieutenant General John L. Terry commanded the IC from 2012 to 2013. V Corps was being deployed from Germany to provide the IC headquarters. Commander ISAF also supervised the NATO training mission Afghanistan and Special Operations Forces. The New Zealand Special Air Service deployed in 2009 45 and remained there until March 2012 46 after previous deployments as part of Operation Enduring Freedom. Regional Command Capital Kabul approx. Strength 5,420. The command of this region rotated among Turkey, France, and Italy. In November 2009, Turkey was the leading nation in this region. The headquarters was in Kabul. On 31 October 2009, the Turkish Brigadier General Levent Polak took over command from a French Brigadier General. Most of the French forces in Afghanistan are in RC. Strength in 2010 was approximately 6,150, including 3 battalions in Kabul. Nearly all the more than 40 contributors had troops deployed to Kabul. The city was under joint Afghan/coalition control from 2002 but came repeatedly under attacks of insurgent fighters. Kabul International Airport, Kaya, Belgium, Hungary, Greece, Hungary from December 2010. In October 2009, the Bulgarian Infantry Company, part of the Bulgarian contingent Herat Kandahar, provided the security of the outer perimeter of Kaya, the so-called ground defense area GDA. The Bulgarian company was under the command of Thebel Jumfos Protection Group, Regional Command North approx. 4,400, HQ Arsene Camp Marmel, HQ Mazar-e Sharif Bak Province. RCN was led by Germany. On 30 November 2009, the German Brigadier General Frank Leidenberger took over command of RC North. Strength, APS. 5,750, to be raised. Other forces in RCN include units from the United States of America, Croatia, Norway, Belgium, Sweden, and Hungary et al. The situation within the command deteriorated, and fighting included Kunduz province campaign, as well as Faryab in the northwest, maneuver battalions, including QRF. Task Force 47 Special Forces, see Task Force 47, PRT Mazar-e Sharif in Bak Province, Sweden and Finland, PRT Fezabadeh in Badaksan Province, Germany, PRT Kunduz in Kunduz Province, Germany, PRT Paul-e Kamri in Baglan Province, Hungary, PRT Maymana in Faryab Province, Norway, Regional Command West approx. 2,980, HQRC in Herat Province, Italy. Commander in May 2010, Brig. Gen. Claudio Berto Ida 47 Strength, APS 4,440. Forward Support Base Herat, Spain. Maneuver Elements, Task Force 45 Special Forces Task Force, see Task Force 45. PRT Herat in Herat Province, Italy. Shindan Air Base, Herat Province. PRT Farah in Farah Province, USA. PRT Kala-e now in Bajas Province, Spain. Chagchurin Provincial Reconstruction Team Bor Province, Lithuania in June 2005. ISAF established in Chagchurin, the capital of Bor Province. A Lithuanian PRT in which Danish, US and Icelandic troops also serve. 48. Regional Command South approx. 35,000. HQRCs at Kandahar Airfield in Kandahar Province. Forward Support Base Kandahar Multinational, Combined Task Force Fury, Combined Task Force Lancer, Combined Task Force 422 2012-13, Combined Team Uruzgan, Kandahar PRT in Kandahar City, Canada, USA 49, Uruzgan PRT in Tenkout Uruzgan Province, United States, Australia 50, Zabul PRT in Kalit, Zabul Province, USA, Romania 51. Regional Command South also included the provinces of Namruzandekundi, Regional Command East HQ Bagram Airfield approx. 18,800. Apart from additional maneuver elements, RCE headed 13 provincial reconstruction teams PRT in the eastern and central provinces of Afghanistan. The headquarters was located in Bagram. Other forces in RCE included units from France, Turkey, New Zealand, Poland, and the Czech Republic. The province was a staging ground for costly engagements. Hotspots included Kapisa, Nurestan, and Kunar. The commander also directs the U.S. National Force Combined Joint Task Force 1. Lead nation and main contributor was the United States. Strength, apps. 23,950 to be raised. Task Force White Eagle Polish Forces Brigade Gniezny Province. Task Force 49 Isovsov in Gazny Province, Poland. Task Force 50 Isovsov in Gazny Province, Paktika Province, Poland. Forward Support Base Bagram, USA. PRT Kapisa in Kapisa Province at Fog Naira, a combined French/Afghan/American TF Lafayette. PRT Lager in Lager Province, Czech Republic. PRT Shoana in Paktika Province, USA. PRT Coasting Post Province, USA. PRT Netherland in Ligman Province, USA. Bamilian Provincial Reconstruction Team Bamilian Province under New Zealand Defence Force Command from 2003 April 2013 52. PRT Panjshir in Panjshir Province, USA. PRT Jalalabad in Amgahar Province, USA. PRT Ghazni in Ghazni Province, Poland, USA. PRT Asadabad in Kunar Province, USA. PRT Parwan Republic of Korea. PRT Nuristan in Pahan, USA. PRT Wardak in Maidan Shah, Turkey. PRT Gardes in Paksha Province, USA. Regional Command Southwest HQ Camp Lebanon approx. 27,000. Regional Command Southwest was established in July 2010. 53. It was responsible for security in the Helmand and Nimroz provinces in southwestern Afghanistan, along with the Afghan government and security forces. 7 other nations contribute to RCSW to bring security to the region. Those nations included the United States, the United Kingdom, Georgia, Denmark, Bahrain, and Estonia. Marine Major General Richard P. Mills, the commander of RCSW, made history by being the first U.S. Marine to command the NATO Regional Command in Combat 54. Task Force Helmand UK forces in Central and Northeast Helmand Province. A Danish battle group operated with British forces in the Green Zone in the central part of Helmand Province. The battle group consisted of 2 mechanized infantry companies, a tank platoon and a flight of helicopters, plus combat support and support units. Task Force Lebanon U.S. Marines in Northern, Southern, and Western Helmand Province 55. Helmand Provincial Reconstruction Team in Lashkar Gah, Helmand Province, UK, Denmark, Estonia 56. List of commanders edit. The command of ISAF has rotated between officers of the participating nations. The first American took command in February 2007 and only Americans have commanded ISAF since that time. 57. Contributing nations edit. All NATO member states have contributed troops to the ISAF, as well as some other partner states of the NATO alliance. NATO states edit. French units on duty with ISAF. Polish forces in Afghanistan, Romanian soldiers in southern Afghanistan in 2003, visiting politicians of Spain with soldiers of the Spanish army in 2010, a Turkish general during a food distribution in Afghanistan, Albania on 28 July 2010. Albania sent 44 soldiers from the Albanian Special Operations Battalion to engage in combat operations in the province of Kandahar, alongside U.S. and British Special Forces. The contingent was given the name Eagle 1-inch. On 25 January 2011, the second rotation consisting of 45 soldiers, named Eagle 2 inches, was sent to Afghanistan following the return of the first. Eagle 3 inches followed. On 16 January 2011, Albania sent its fourth mission, codenamed Eagle 4 inches, to Kandahar. However, the main contingent was composed of a company under Italian command in the province of Herat. Albania also had a squad of soldiers under Turkish command in Kabul and a contribution to a joint medical team with the Czech contingent. The last contingent was composed of 222 soldiers of the 8th Regiment 61. Belgium. The Belgian mission was named Belu Isuf 21. Their main task was to provide security at Kabul International Airport, while detachments Kunduz 16 assisted in the northern Kiarts off Kunduz and Mazar-e-Sharif. In September 2008, OG 4 started for 16s with about 140 support personnel deployed. They operated from Kandahar Airport 62. The Belgian Air Force operated in close cooperation with Dutch F-16 fighter jets already deployed there. 63. Bulgaria. In December 2009, Bulgarian Minister of Defense Nikolay Mladenov said that the Bulgarian contingent in Afghanistan, which was divided between two military bases in Kabul and Kandahar with a total of 602 soldiers, would be consolidated in Kandahar and that it could add an additional 100 troops in Afghanistan in 2010. 64. In July 2011, Bulgaria sent 165 more soldiers, bringing the total number to 767. 65 Bulgarian troops participated in training the Afghan forces and providing security until their withdrawal in 2021. 66. Canadian forces were actively engaged in fighting the Taliban in the south and suffered a high proportion of field casualties. In 2006, with the situation in Kandahar province turned increasingly violent, the Canadian forces participated in several operations and battles from the beginning of the war in Afghanistan in 2001. The Royal Canadian Air Force had a major presence in Afghanistan, including 3 130 Hercule cargo planes, 140 surveillance planes, 67 147 Chinook transport helicopters, 6 Mi-8 leased for 1 year from Sklink Aviation, 8 146 Griffon utility helicopters and 3 Q-170 unmanned aerial vehicles. The Canadian Army increased their presence with main battle tanks, some 10 Leopard C2 and 20 Leopard 2A 6 meters MCAN, approximately 100 LAV IER vehicles and 6 155 mm 777 howitzers. Canada has suffered 158 killed in Afghanistan. In 2011, all Canadian combat forces had withdrawn from Kandahar and relocated the bulk of their forces in Kabul, with detachments in RC North and RC West. Citation needed. Canada completed its participation in March 2014. Croatian troops were involved in 3 locations. The Croatian parliament voted on extra troop numbers on 7 December when, with all parties supporting a troop increase, Parliament also recognized that additional increases in troop numbers might be possible during 2011 and 2012 to help train local army and police units. Maximal number of Croatian soldiers in Afghanistan was about 450. 68 69 70 Czech Republic. Czech troops in Afghanistan were involved in 4 locations. In Czech combat units, special forces in peak served 120 troops. In other non-combat military units, primarily engineering, medical, training, advisory or guard, served during all the tours about 4,000 soldiers, medical staff, civilian engineers and other specialists. The largest unit was deployed as PRT Logar, composed of 192 troops and 12 civilians in Logar province, in place since 19 March 2008. MP2 FPS were part of PRT Logar, however they were only involved in guarding the Shank base due to their weak EAD protection. Ponder EI were also part of PRT Logar, which were actively used in operations. Veko LMP was the most commonly used vehicle by the Czech armed forces all over Afghanistan. The field hospital at Kabul airport was deployed in March 2007 and consisted of 81 medical and 30 NBC protection personnel. 8 helicopter pilots and technicians were part of the operational mentoring and liaison team. Also, 4 weather forecast specialists and 2 air traffic controllers were part of the Czech contingent deployed to Kabul International Airport. A third unit was sent to Afghanistan at the end of April 2007 and involved 350 members of the Czech Military Police Special Operations Group, who were attached to British forces in the southern Helmand province. A 4th unit was deployed in July 2008 and was composed of 63 troops who were in charge of force protection at Dutch Fob Hadrain in Uruzgan province. The Czechs also donated 6 miles minus 17 and 6 miles minus 24 helicopters to the Afghan National Army, flew 3 miles minus 17 helicopters in Paktika province and announced the deployment of 1 Ek-295 in 2011. 9 Czech soldiers were killed in Afghanistan. 71. Denmark in Kandahar. Royal Danish Air Force RDAF personnel helped man the Kandahar airfield crisis establishment Kafchi, which ran the airfield. Danish troops were also deployed to other parts of Afghanistan. In northern Afghanistan, approximately 20 troops served in the German-led PRT in Fezabad. In western Afghanistan, 10 troops served in the Lithuanian-led PRT in Chagturan. There was also a small contribution to ISAF headquarters in Kabul and to the staffing of Kabul International Airport. There was also a RDAF presence with the NATO AWACS contingent in Mazar-e-Sharif. In Helmand, Danish troops were involved in the worst fighting their armed forces had undertaken since the Second Schleswig War of 1864. Denmark lost 43 soldiers in Afghanistan. There was a Danish soft task force operating in Lashkar mentoring Afghan forces. A 2009 survey argued that Denmark had by far the highest count of casualties relative to population 72. Estonia. Most of the Estonian Afghanistan contingent was deployed to PRT Lashkar in Helmand, together with the forces of the United Kingdom and Denmark. 9 Estonian soldiers were killed in Afghanistan. French forces deployed in the Surobi district and to Thekapisa province under the command of Thebrigade Lafayette. 6 French Dassault Mirage 2000 D fighters and Twak 135 free-fueling aircraft were based at Dushan Airport in Nishan, Tajikistan but relocated to Kandahar on 26 September 2007. 200 Naval, Air Force, and Army Special Forces personnel were withdrawn from southern Afghanistan in early 2007, but around 50 remained to train Afghan forces. On 26 February 2008 it was reported that Paris would deploy troops to the east to free up American soldiers, who would then be able to assist Canadian forces in Kandahar. 73 Shortly afterwards, 700 troops were deployed to reinforce Surobi and Kapisa. The deployment marked a significant change in French policy in Afghanistan. It was later announced that 100 additional troops and aerospatiale Gazelle helicopters would be sent to the country. France decided to send Eurocopter Tiger attack helicopters to Afghanistan in the second quarter of 2009. 74 In April 2010, French President Nicolas Sarkozy ruled out sending additional troops to Afghanistan in the near future. 88 French troops been killed in Afghanistan. 75 An additional amount of 250 arrived in October 2010, bringing the number of French forces in Afghanistan to 4,076. 77 The remaining troops are to be withdrawn by the end of 2012-78. Germany. The German Bundeswehr-led regional command north based in Mazar-e-Sharif. The task of the German forces was to assist the Afghan government with security and reconstruction in the 4 northern provinces of Kunduz, Takhar, Baghlan and Badakhshan. Germany leads the provincial reconstruction teams in the provinces of Kunduz and Badakhshan. The mandate issued by the Bundestag does not allow the Bundeswehr to take part in combat operations against the Taliban insurgency in the south and east of Afghanistan, other than in exceptional circumstances. However, German troops together with Allied forces of Regional Command North conducted their own combat operations in northern and northeast Afghanistan, inflicting as many as 650 casualties upon insurgents. Germany has agreed to send 850 additional troops in 2010, raising the mandate ceiling to 50 troops. 53 German troops and 3 police officers were killed in Afghanistan. 79 156 service members were wounded in action. 80 In the 2006 German troops controversy, 23 German soldiers were accused of posing with human skulls in Afghanistan. Following the Kunduz airstrike and 2 captured fuel tankers, which killed over 100 civilians, Germany reclassified the Afghanistan deployment in February 2010 as an armed conflict within the parameters of international law, allowing German forces to act without risk of prosecution under German law. 81-82 Greece. Epsilon Lambda Delta Alpha Phi was established as a unit at the headquarters of the 71st Brigade on January 14, 2002, in the context of Greece's participation in the International Security Assistance Force ISAF. It included the Special Battalion of Engineers ELMHIA and a security personnel element. In June 2005, the mission was renamed TO Epsilon Sigma Alpha Phi Afghanistan Special Forces Battalion, and in conjunction with the 299 Kappa Iota Chi Nu Epsilon Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, they formed the Epsilon Lambda Delta Alpha Phi -2. A total of 3,295 officers, 524 officers, and 2,771 non-commissioned officers served in Epsilon Lambda Delta Alpha Phi -2, while a total of 28 senior officers served as commanders. The work of the Hellenic Force in Afghanistan included the distribution of humanitarian aid and medical supplies, the reconstruction of government buildings, the maintenance of public works, and the reconstruction of schools. TO Epsilon Nushi Landmine Clearance Battalion cleared landmine fields and worked on the disposal of explosives remnants. Engineer personnel and equipment were also provided for the release of Afghan civilians from the rubble of Kabul Hospital, which collapsed on July 26, 2004. The Greek presence in Afghanistan ended in July 2021, when the last 4 assisting officers left the country. 83. Hungary. The Hungarian infantry unit was situated in Kabul. However, on 1 October 2006, Hungary requisitioned its forces and took over responsibility from the Dutch for the provincial reconstruction team in the town of Cumbri, the capital of Baghlan province. From 1 October 2008, one of the tasks of the Hungarians is to provide security at Kabul International Airport. In 2008, Hungarian special forces deployed to South Afghanistan to special reconnaissance and patrol operations. In 2010, Budapest adds 200 soldiers to the 340 troops it already has in Afghanistan working in reconstruction and training. 6 Hungarian soldiers were killed in Afghanistan. 84. Icelandic personnel are stationed at ISAF HQ at Kabul International Airport. 85. Italian troops currently lead Regional Command West and the PRT in Herat province. Although the mandate issued by the Parliament of Italy does not allow Italian forces to take part in the battle against the Taliban insurgency in the south and east of Afghanistan, other than in exceptional circumstances, the former Italian Minister of Defense Ignazio La Russafis officially stated in July 2008 that such combat activities have indeed taken place over the last year in the Farah area. 86. An Italian contingent including 9 helicopters Sigista A-129 Mangista, 2 C-27 Spartan, 1 C-130, 3 A-212, 3 47. Additionally, in April 2008, 4 EMS International EMS reconnaissance jets and 3 helicopter Sub-412, with corresponding 250 personnel also included, were deployed to Kabul in support of ISAF combat operations in the country. In February 2009, the Italian government decided to boost its contingent by 800 to help out with police training and economic development. 87. 1,000 more soldiers were sent in Afghanistan in 2010, for 3,800 in total. Italy has suffered 53 casualties in Afghanistan. Latvian troops were divided between Kabul and the PRTs in Mazar-e-Sharif and Maymana as of December 2007. A number of special operations forces operate in the rest of South. 3 Latvian soldiers were killed in Afghanistan, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro stationed at 2 bases, Hall Cumbria and Marmel, Netherlands. The Netherlands deployed aircraft as part of the European Participating Air Force EPIF in support of ground operations in Afghanistan. The Netherlands deployed further troops and helicopters to Afghanistan in 2006 as part of a new operation in the south. 15 Dutch ground and air forces totaled almost 2,000 personnel during 2006, taking part in combat operations alongside British and Canadian forces in the south. The Netherlands has suffered 21 casualties in Afghanistan. The Netherlands announced in December 2007 that it would begin withdrawing its troops, mainly in Oeriskan. In July 2010, a handover to the United States and Australia took place on 1 August 2010, formally ending the Dutch combat phase. The return of vehicles and other equipment was planned to take 5 more months. 89. Norwegian troops are divided between Monaghan and Faryab province, where they lead a provincial reconstruction team, and Mazar-e Sharif, where they operate alongside Swedish forces. Fawr Royal Norwegian Air Force F-16s operated from Kabul during 2006. 90 decisions were made to reinforce the Norwegian contribution with 150 special forces, an aeromedical detachment of 3 Bell 412 helicopters, and around 60 personnel from 339 Squadron to be based at Camp Maymana for 18 months from 1 April 2008. 91-92 and 50 troops tasked with training Afghan soldiers. 93 after the attack on the Serena Hotel on 14 January 2008, the decision was made to send a team of military explosives experts to Kabul. 94-95, 9 Norwegian soldiers were killed while on duty. 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Poland. The Polish Brigade Level Task Force White Eagle is responsible for the province of Ghazni. The task force was based in 5 different locations around the province: Fog Warrior, Kop Karabag, FB Giro, FB Four Corners, and Fog Ghazni. The Polish contingent operated 70 Rosso-Mach wheeled armored vehicles and 40 Kugasin loaned from the United States. Additionally, 4 mm Mi-24 and 4 mm Mi-17 were in use. In December 2009, the Polish Ministry of Defense announced that as of April 2010, it would dispatch additional 60 Rosso-Mach 5 miles 17 and 600 troops. The contingent would also include 400 backup troops based in Poland who could be deployed in Afghanistan at short notice. In March 2010, the Polish MON announced that 1 battalion of the American 101st Street Airborne Division would be dispatched to Ghazni and would operate under Polish command. 37 Polish troops were killed in Afghanistan. 2 Polish Special Forces units, TF-49 and TF-50, operated in Ghazni Province, partially in Paktika Province. Portuguese participation in operations in Afghanistan began in February 2002. A military health detachment composed of the 3 branches of the armed forces remained in Kabul for 3 months in a British ISAF campaign hospital, followed by a C-130 detachment who acted from Karachi, Pakistan, between April and July of that year. In May 2004, Portugal became involved with a C-130 detachment and supporting staff of the Portuguese Air Force as meteorologists, firefighters, drivers, based at Kabul International Airport, Kaya. In August 2005, the Portuguese Air Force took command of Kaya with several of its services for a period of 3 months, but now without aircraft. Between June and August 2005, the Portuguese Army began the task of ISAF Quick Reaction Force QRF with the Light Infantry Company alternated 4 commanders companies and 2 off-paratroopers, and a task detachment of the Air Force. Officers and sergeants of the 3 branches served in the ISAF HQ and other regional structures, more or less discreetly. Between late July 2008 and mid-December, a detachment of the Portuguese Air Force, incorporating a C-130 and support staff in various specialties like maintenance and force protection, totaling some 40 soldiers, met the new mission from Kabul. In addition to 1 seriously injured and several light injuries, the Portuguese Army suffered 2 dead on 18 November 2005 and on 24 November 2007. The Portuguese forces for 2012 were a military intelligence cell, an army military advisor team for Afghan Capital Division HQ, 2 Air Force advisor teams, 1 for Afghan Air Force Academy and the other for Kabul International Airport, 1 GNR Gendarmerie Type Police advisor team at National Police Training Center in Warded, Army Police and Navy Marines in service with Kabul International Airport Force Protection and a support unit for Portuguese forces with a protection company, 2 commando platoons, and a logistic platoon maintenance, health and communications. Romanian forces consist of a battalion in Pilat, Zabul province. Additionally, a Special Forces Squad 39 personnel operates from Tagag in Kapisa province, and a training detachment of 47 personnel is in Kabul under the US-led Operation Enduring Freedom. In January 2010, Romania announced plans to send 600 more troops to Afghanistan, boosting its military presence there to more than 1,600 soldiers. Romania suffered 76 casualties in Afghanistan, including 20 killed in action, 101-102. Slovakia in 2007, on request of NATO command, Slovak forces were moved from Kabul to operate in southern Afghanistan. Currently there are 165 Guard soldiers providing force protection at Kandahar Air Base. 57 personnel of multi-role engineer company located in Kandahar Airport, responsible for demining, building and repairing the airport. 53 soldiers of mechanized infantry are holding outposts in Tarim Kau, Uruzgan province. 15 personnel are in a mobile team. 4 explosives disposal specialists are part of Iyad Paladin's team. 2 personnel are part of reconstruction team in Tarin Kaut. 12 officers are members of commanding staff in HQ Isafik, RC's Kaffa Paladin. 15 personnel are part of the National Support Element NC in Kandahar Airport. In September 2011, 20 soldiers of 5th Special Forces Regiment were deployed to Afghanistan to help with mentoring and training of Afghan National Police Personnel 103. Slovenian troops including 2 civilians Chimik program perform remote mentoring an infantry battalion in Bala Bolak and joint mentoring with Italian Army of a Combat Support Battalion in Herat and for Tasks 104 and also placing some commanding positions in Regional Command West and ISAF HQ 105. Spain. The collective Spanish military contribution to ISAF is known as ASCFA. Spanish forces are divided between Herat province, where they form a quick reaction company and instructors team for Afghan National Army training and a combat search and rescue unit, Kabul and Bajis province, where they lead PRT Kala INA 106. The deployment involves engineers, infantry, a transport helicopters unit and a logistics component. Spanish soldiers are constrained by caveats. The mandate issued by the Spanish Parliament does not allow Spanish forces neither to engage Taliban insurgents, unless being directly attacked first, nor to move into the south and east of Afghanistan. 102 Spanish soldiers were killed in Afghanistan. 107 Spain has rejected 3 times to lead the ISAF when its shift to do so has come. 108 Turkey's responsibilities included providing security in Kabul. It led RC capital, as well as in Irdak province, where it led PRT Maidan Shar. Turkey was once the third largest contingent within the ISAF. Citation needed. Turkey's troops were not engaged in combat operations and Ankara long resisted pressure from Washington to offer more combat troops. In December 2009, Turkish Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan said that Turkey has already done what it can do by boosting its contingent of soldiers there to 1,750 from around 700 without being asked. Citation needed. United Kingdom troops were deployed in Helmand province under Operation Herrick 109th Oil Air Force Army Air Corps had a major presence in and around the country, including attack aircraft, C-130 Hercules cargo planes, 47 Chinook transport helicopters, 900 surveillance planes, Westland Lynx utility helicopters, and Westland WA-64 attack helicopters. They were officially there to help train Afghan security forces, facilitate reconstruction, and provide security. In 2006, the situation in the north of Helmand turned increasingly violent, with British troops involved in fierce firefights against the Taliban and anti-coalition militia, particularly in the towns of Zanjan, Musa Kala, Kajaki, and Nozad. According to the BBC, on 30 November 2009, Gordon Brown announced an increase in British troop numbers, which would bring the total to 10,000 personnel, 500 extra ground troops, and 500 special forces. Additionally, more modified Merlin helicopters would be deployed. The deployment would mean British troop levels in the theater would be the highest since the invasion in 2001. The United Kingdom contributed the most troops to the mission after the United States and were involved in the fiercest fighting. As a result, 456 personnel were killed fighting in Afghanistan and over 2,000 wounded. United States made up more than half of the total number of ISAF troops. Euro-Atlantic Partnership Council Nation said it. U.S. President Barack Obama visiting wounded Georgian LTC Alexander Tubushi. Armenia sent about 40 troops to serve under German command. 110 additional 86 troops deployed since summer 2011. Austria deployed in Kabul. In 2002, 75 soldiers were temporarily deployed in Kabul, and in the year 2005 a contingent of 100 soldiers served in Afghanistan. 111. Azerbaijan. The mission of the armed forces in Afghanistan began on 20 November 2002. 94 Azerbaijani soldiers, 2 military doctors and 2 engineering officers participated a decade later in the peacekeeping mission in Afghanistan. 112. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Finland stationed in 4 provinces around Mazar-e-Sharif, as all of Finnish troops serve in Thepparti Mazar-e-Sharif since early 2009. 2 Finnish soldiers have been killed and 9 have been injured in Afghanistan. 113. Georgia, predominantly tasked with peacekeeping and counterinsurgency operations in the volatile Helmand province. Georgia is the largest non-NATO, as well as largest per capita contributor to the ISAF. Since 2010, 31 Georgian servicemen have died, 114 all in the Hellman campaign, and 435 wounded, including 35 amputees. As of July 2014, 115, 116. The first Georgian fatality occurred on 5 September 2010, when 28-years-old Lieutenant Mukran Shukbani was killed in a sniper attack and Corporal Alexander Jatolandia was seriously wounded. 117. The most recent deaths occurred on 7 June 2013, when a suicide attack using a truck bomb struck a Georgian base in Helmand Province. 118 previously. On 13 May 2013, 3 Georgian soldiers, Sepal Alexander Kavitsanods, Lower Sergeants Via Davitods and Sepal Vladimir Shanaga, were killed after a terrorist incursion and an accompanying suicide attack on the 42nd Battalion military base, also in Helmand. 119. Ireland provided 7 troops on 6-month deployments from the defense forces, mainly as trainers, medical staff and experts from its bomb disposal units. 120. North Macedonia. The Republic of North Macedonia, then Republic of Macedonia / former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, began its participation in the NATO-led ISAF operation in August 2002, with the sending of 2 officers as part of the Turkish contingent. In March 2003, the Macedonian army increased its contribution in the ISAF mission by sending 1 section from the composition of the 2nd Infantry Brigade as part of the German contingent. As a result of the successful carrying out of the mission and the high marks received for participation in ISAF, from August 2004 until the end of 2006, the arm participated with 1 mechanized infantry platoon from the Leopard unit. At the same time, in August 2005, medical personnel was sent in ISAF as part of the combined medical team in the A3 format Macedonia, Albania, Croatia, which successfully carried out tasks at the Kabul airport, firstly in the composition of the Greek Field Hospital, and later in the composition of the Czech Field Hospital. In June 2006, sent also 1 mechanized infantry company, part of the 1st Mechanized Infantry Brigade, in the composition of the British contingent in ISAF. In the 2nd rotation of the company for securing the ISAF command, Macedonia increased the participation from 90 to 127 participants, and from January 2008 it sent 3 staff officers in the ISAF command in Kabul. As a support to the efforts for self-sustainability of the Afghanistan National Army ANA, beginning from March 2008, Macedonia sent soldiers as part of the combined multinational operational mentor and liaison team in Mazar-e-Sharif, while, beginning from December 2008, in cooperation with Norway, a Macedonian medical team is included through 1 surgical team in the organizational structure of the surgical unit of the Norwegian Provincial Reconstruction Team PRT in Maymana, Afghanistan. 121. Switzerland. On 23 February 2008, the Swiss Ministry of Defense announced that its small deployment had concluded 2 weeks prior. 2 officers had worked alongside German troops in the PRT responsible for the northeastern Kunduz province. The stated reason for the withdrawal was the burden placed on other troops for their protection, which had begun to hinder operations. A total of 31 Swiss soldiers were sent to Afghanistan since the beginning of their country's participation in 2003. 122. Sweden leads the party Mazar-e-Sharif. The main force consists of 3 mechanized companies operating in Mazar-e-Sharif and also includes helicopters for medical evacuation and animal training Afghan soldiers. 6 Swedish soldiers have been killed in action and 20+ wounded since 2001. Over time, the Swedish force consisted of up to 891 troops, 9 CV-9040, 20 Patria ZA-203, 60+ by RG-32 man, 2 Super Puma helicopters. Ukraine mostly military doctors serving in the Lithuanian-led PRT Chagturin, while 1 officer works at the ISAF HQ in Kabul, non-NATO and non-EU nation Sedit, an Australian Special Operations Task Group patrol in October 2009. Australia was one of the largest non-NATO contributors to the war in Afghanistan. 123 called Operation Slipper. The core of the Australian contingent was based in the southern province of Uruzgan. Australia had joint command of Uruzgan province with the United States Combined Team Uruzgan. Australia provided the majority of combat forces in Uruzgan. This included an infantry-based battle group known as the Mentoring Task Force, which also includes cavalry, engineer, artillery and other supporting assets. The battle group's main effort are operational mentoring and liaison teams (IMLTs), which are embedded with Afghan National Army units at remote combat outposts and forward operating bases. The IMLTs conduct almost daily patrolling in the Green Zone with the Afghan National Army, and have been involved in the heaviest combat experienced by regular Australian Defence Force members since the Vietnam War. Australia also contributed a 300-strong Special Operations Task Group, codenamed Task Force 66, manned by the Special Air Service Regiment 2 ND Commando Regiment and 1 Street Commando Regiment. Task Force 66 operated in Uruzgan, Helmand, Zabul and other surrounding provinces, and had significant success in both capturing and inflicting large numbers of casualties against the Taliban. Australian Army 47D Chinook V-lift helicopters served in Afghanistan as coalition heavy-lift transport helicopters, and the Royal Australian Air Force also committed 17 Globemaster and 130 Hercules transport aircraft AP-3C Orient surveillance aircraft, and unmanned aerial vehicles. 42 Australian soldiers were killed and another 256 were wounded in action. 124. Bahrain, El Salvador. 125. Jordanian troops were deployed in December 2001 to establish a 50-bed medical facility in Mazar-e-Sharif. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, the hospital provided care for up to 650 local patients a day, and as of February 2006, over 500,000 people had been treated by the Jordanians. 126. Malaysia. 127. Mongolia sent troops to back the U.S. surge in the country. 128. Some soldiers protect camp beggars, while others serve as trainers for the Afghan National Army. New Zealand deployed an undisclosed number, often just a number of regular troops to assist the U.S. FNZAF deployed C-130 aircraft and Boeing 757 transport aircraft, and later in the deployment a quantity of Slav armored fighting vehicles were sent to supplement the force. 10 soldiers were killed during the deployment. Singapore Armed Force deployed close to 500 personnel to Afghanistan since May 2007 as part of Singapore's contributions to multinational stabilization and reconstruction efforts. Their 129 in May 2007, a 5-man team was sent to central Afghanistan to set up a dental clinic serving local citizens while training Afghans in dentistry so that they could eventually assume responsibility. 130 other contributions included a UAV team and a weapons locating radar to provide rocket launch warnings for Camp Holland. South Korea. The first South Korean contingent had been withdrawn by 14 December 2007 due to the expiration of its mandate, despite American calls for its continued presence. The withdrawal had been one of the pledges made to the Taliban captors of 21 South Korean Christian missionaries in July 2007 in return for the hostages' release. The deployment consisted of 60 medics comprising the Dongjui unit and 150 military engineers, forming the Dawson unit at Bagram Air Base, north of Kabul. They had been sent to Afghanistan in 2002 and 2003 respectively. Afterwards, Seoul took only the role of providing medical and vocational training by assisting the United States with only 24 volunteers working inside Bagram Air Base, north of Kabul. According to an ISAF statement, on 30 June 2008 South Korea returned, operating a small hospital near the airbase in Bagram with military and civilian personnel. In December 2009, the South Korean Defense Ministry announced it would send 350 troops in 2010 to protect South Korean civilian engineers working on reconstruction. These troops would not engage in any fighting except to protect the base of the South Korean Provincial Reconstruction Team (PRT) and escort and protect the activities of the PRT members. The South Korean contingent would be based in Parwan Province, just north of Kabul for 30 months from 1 July 2010. 131 This invoked threats from the Taliban. In a statement emailed to international media, Taliban insurgents said Seoul must be ready to face bad consequences if the troops were deployed. The South Korean government said it made no promises to stay out of Afghanistan when it withdrew its troops in 2007. 132 South Korea redeployed its troops to Afghanistan in July 2010 and was the PRT leading nation in Parwan Province. Korea also dispatched 4060 Black Hawks, which came under tactical control of the 3 RDUS Infantry Division. Tonga 133, United Arab Emirates. The UAE had 170 soldiers serving in Tarin Kowt Province in March 2008. 134, Financing Get It. Resolution 1386 of the United Nations Security Council established that the expense of the ISAF operation must be borne by participating states. For this purpose, the resolution established a trust fund for which contributions could be channeled to the participating states or operations concerned, and encouraged the participating states to contribute to such a fund. 135. See also edit. Afghanistan Mission Network, Resolute Support Mission, Canadian Forces Casualties in Afghanistan, Coalition Casualties in Afghanistan, German Armed Forces Casualties in Afghanistan, NATO Logistics in the Afghan War, Participants in Operation Enduring Freedom, List of ISAF installations in Afghanistan, Notes edit. NATO sets irreversible but risky course to end Afghan war. Reuters. 21st May 2012. Archive from the original on 3rd March 2016. Retrieve 22 May 2012. United Nations Security Council Resolution 1386./raise/1386 2001 31st May 2001. Retrieve 21st September 2007. United Nations Security Council Document 1154. Annex I International Security Forces /2001/1154 page 9. 2001. Retrieve 26 August 2008. Official Documents System of the United Nations Archive 9 October 2008 at the Wayback Machine. INSC Resolution 1510 October 13, 2003 PDF. Archived from the original PDF on 9 October 2010. Retrieve 5 July 2010. NATO. ISAF's mission in Afghanistan 2001-2014 archive.nato.archive from the original on 27 August 2021. Retrieve 25 August 2021. Characters, NIG 11 February 2010. The 700 military bases of Afghanistan. Foreign Police in Focus fpif.archive from the original on 26 April 2012. Retrieve 24 July 2012. Chartspin. Countries currently contributing troops to ISAF.chartspin.archive from the original on 25 August 2021. Retrieve 25 August 2021. Russia abstained from NCR 1776 due to the lack of clarity in the wording pertaining to ISAF's maritime interception component, which has not appeared in any of the Security Council's previous resolutions. United Nations Security Council Verbatim Report 5744./PV/5744 page 2. Mr. Churkin Russia 19 September 2007 at 1720. Retrieve 21st September 2007. ISAF in Afghanistan Archive 12 June 2002 at the Wayback Machine Terrorism Project 14 February 2002. General Hilmi Akins Orlu Vefat Eddie. Kenley Haber in Turkish. Retrieve 23 April 2023. Turkey takes command of isaf.ntv.com.tr.archive from the original on 3rd March 2016. Retrieve 17 December 2015. Jump up to have International Security Assistance Force Overall Command. NATO Military Forces Strategy, Structure and Operations Handbook Vol. 1. USA International Business Publications 2009 pp. 22. Jump up to have NATO's role in Afghanistan Archive 8 April 2009 at the Wayback Mission NATO ISAF Missions 3rd September 2009. Jump up to have more Dutch troops for Afghanistan. BBC News. 3rd February 2006. Archive from the original on 4th February 2006. Retrieve 26 May 2012. International Security Assistance Force. Archived from the original on 20th September 2006. Retrieve 5 July 2010. South Asia Afghan conflict deaths quadrupled. BBC News. 13th November 2006. Archived from the original on 2nd December 2012. Retrieve 27 May 2012. Europe NATO hails shift on Afghan combat. BBC News. 29th November 2006. Archived from the original on 11th November 2012. Retrieved 27 May 2012. U.S. General in Afghanistan seen tough on Taliban. Archive 24 January 2023 at the Wayback Machine. Reuters 5 February 2007. ISAF and Afghan forces launch major operation in the south. Archived from the original on 13 March 2007. Retrieved 13 March 2007. Site web CS1 main bot. Original URL status unknown. Link NATO press release 6 March 2007 and NATO and major anti-Taliban. Driver archive 9 March 2007 at the Wayback Mission at 6 March 2007. Jump up to have Microsoft PowerPoint Jan 09120 updated. ISAF troops placemat.pdf. Archived from the original PDF on 22nd April 2021. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Petraeus takes command in Afghanistan. CBC News. 4th July 2010. Archived from the original on 7th January 2014. Retrieved 4 July 2010. Humberto 26 May 2009. Colombia sends troops to Afghanistan, first Latin American country. Monsters and Critics. Archived from the original on 23 December 2008. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Tropas colombianas reforzadas en las fuerzas españolas en Afghanistan. elespectador.com. Archived from the original on 23 July 2011. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Colombia to send demining experts to Afghanistan. English Xinhua. News.zinternet.com. 28 August 2008. Archived from the original on 3 January 2009. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Colombia sends troops to Afghanistan. Tamian.com. 7 August 2008. Archived from the original on 16 October 2012. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Colombia to aid US in Taliban fight. CBS. 27 July 2009. Archived from the original on 29 July 2009. Retrieved 27 July 2009. Canada PM troops home from Afghanistan in 2011. Dead link. Terrence Neal in 1 August 2010. Dutch pullout from Afghanistan leaves some nervous. Allnews.com. Archived from the original on 27 November 2010. Retrieved 26 May 2012. Patrick Wintour in Toronto 25 June 2010. Afghanistan withdrawal before 2015, says David Cameron. The Guardian. London. Archived from the original on 15 September 2013. Retrieved 5 July 2010. Morgan, Wesley. Coalition Combat and Advisory Forces in Afghanistan. Afghanistan Order of Battle PDF. Institute for the Study of War. Archive PDF from the original on 13 August 2022. Retrieved 26 September 2022. ISAF's mission in Afghanistan 2001 to 2014. NATO. 19 August 2021. Archived from the original on 8 April 2022. Retrieved 8 April 2022. Lead head. Alistair 5 August 2006. Programs from our own correspondent deployed to Afghanistan's held. BBC News. Archived from the original on 11 January 2009. Retrieved 27 May 2012. Killing the Cranes by Edward Gerard at 2011. Published by Chelsea Green. Hastings, Michael 22nd June 2010. The Runaway General. Rolling Stone. Archived from the original on 11 August 2012. Retrieved 1 October 2012. The Washington Quarterly. Archive 14 June 2007 at the Wayback Mission. Pokies for Peace, Reforming Afghanistan's Opium Industry. Jump up to have South Asian NATO to attack Afghan opium labs. BBC News. 10 October 2008. Archived from the original on 24 March 2012. Retrieved 27 May 2012. NATO events. Informal meeting of NATO defense ministers. Budapest. Archive 12 October 2008 at the Wayback Machine. 9-10 October 2008. Retrieved on 10 October 2008. Jim Baramon 6 July 2009. Directive Ray emphasizes protecting Afghan civilians. American Forces Press Service. U.S. Department of Defense. Archived from the original on 14 October 2012. Retrieved 1 October 2012. And Tactical Directive PDF. NATO/International Security Assistance Force, 6 July 2009. Archive PDF from the original on 15 July 2009. Retrieved 2 October 2012. American Army officer killed, many wounded in Afghan insider attack. Afghanistan Sun. Archive from the original on 6 October 2014. Retrieved 7 August 2014. NATO Auton Dead Link Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum ISAF. ISAF Source PDF. Archived from the original on 28 June 2007. Retrieved 28 June 2007. Site web CS1 main bot. Original URL status unknown. Link International Security Assistance Force. International Security Assistance Force ISAF. Key facts and figures PDF. NATO. 1 December 2014. Archive PDF from the original on 2 November 2021. Retrieved 13 December 2014. ISAF International Security Assistance Force official homepage. NATO. Archive from the original on 27 June 2010. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Armstrong, John 20th July 2009. Key indicates SAS will return to Afghanistan. The New Zealand Herald. Archived from the original on 29 March 2012. Retrieved 4 October 2011. Romanos, Amelia 28 September 2011. PM Defense Afghan Deployment. The New Zealand Herald. Archived from the original on 29 September 2011. Retrieved 4 October 2011. Tutullah Torinens in Afghanistan. Lastampa.it. Archived from the original on 4 April 2012. Retrieved 26 May 2012. Lithuanian Armed Forces Central and South Asia region in Lithuanian. Wamin.cam.lt. Archived from the original on 29 June 2010. Retrieved 5 July 2010. Kandahar Provincial Reconstruction Team. Afghanistan.gc.ca. 17 June 2009. Archived from the original on 4 June 2010. Retrieved 23 June 2010. PRT Rusgan Global Collaborated. www.globalcollab.org. Archived from the original on 6 January 2008. Retrieved 11 January 2022. PRT Zabul helps reconnect Afghans government. Army.mil. 9 September 2009. Archived from the original on 24 January 2023. Retrieved 23 June 2010. C Minister of Defense New Zealand to lead Provincial Reconstruction Team in Afghanistan. Archive 29 December 2014. At the Wayback Machine, July 2003. US plans new command in southern Afghanistan to prepare for major offensive in Kandahar. wwanted.com. 4th March 2010. Retrieved 23 June 2010. Dead link. Regional Command Southwest stands. Archived 6 July 2010 at the Wayback Machine. Official public website homepage map Afghanistan/TF11ec. mnfwest.usm.mil. Archived from the original on 16 March 2010. Retrieved 23 June 2010. About us. UKAnAfghanistan.fco.gov.uk. Archived from the original on 28 January 2010. Retrieved 23 June 2010. About ISAF History. ISAF Commanders Archive 3 March 2012 at the Wayback Machine. Retrieved 20th March 2012. Scott Tyson. And 12th May 2009. Gen David McKiernan ousted as top U.S. Commander in Afghanistan. The Washington Post. Archived from the original on 4 February 2011. Retrieved 9 September 2017. Department of Defense General MC Crystal Resignation. Letter Archive 3 September 2014 at the Wayback Machine 26 August 2014. BBC News David Petraeus CIA Scandal Engulfs US Gen. John Allen Archive 17 October 2018 at the Wayback Machine 13 November 2012. Last updated at 5:26 at sh Kai period Durgoy Contingenten Etetni Afghanistan. Koha.archived from the original on 23 July 2011. Retrieved 18 January 2011. Otur, VDI 9 September 2008. Het Nusblad Belgisch F-16s in Afghanistan's in operational. Nuzblad.be.archive from the original on 11th June 2011. Retrieve 23 June 2010. Dean Def Socrates F-16S in Afghanistan Belgian News NAC. NAC.be. Archived from original on 28 December 2011. Retrieve 23 June 2010. Bulgaria could add up to 100 troops in Afghanistan. Defense Minister. MilitaryWorld.net. 23 December 2009. Archived from original on 23 July 2011. Retrieve 5 July 2010. 165. DerekNews.bg.archived from the original on 2nd October 2011. Retrieve 26 May 2012. 2021. 405 SQN deploys to Southwest Asia. Articles, news and events. Newsroom 14 Wing Greenwood Air Force DND/CF. airforce.forces.gc.ca. 5th June 2009. Archived from original on 11th June 2011. Retrieve 23 June 2010. MSI Nazotov Dnevnik. HRT.HR. Archived from original on 13th April 2010. Retrieve 26 May 2012. HR Vatska Salzjos Voynika U Afghanistan. Azada.HR. 30th August 2011. Archived from the original on 4th July 2016. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Croatia to host 3 NATO exercises in 2011. 9th March 2011. Archived from original on 9th February 2011. Retrieve 13 February 2011. Operation Iraqi Freedom Iraq Fatalities by Nationality. I casualties. Archived from original on 28 May 2012. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Denmark's Radio Denmark Mr. Fless Soldater I Afghanistan. dr.dk. 15 February 2009. Archived from the original on 19 February 2009. Retrieve 5 July 2010. France is sending troops to Afghan combat zone. Reuters. 26 February 2008. Archived from the original on 29 February 2012. Retrieve 27 May 2012. French Army to deploy Tigers in second quarter. Flightglobal.com. Archived from the original on 30th January 2009. Retrieve 23 June 2010. Sarkozy rules out more French troops for Afghanistan. Radio Free Europe / Radio Liberty 2011 1st April 2009. Archived from the original on 13th January 2012. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Flash active Afghanistan 250 soldats français D+. Le Figaro. 4th July 2010. Archived from the original on 17th October 2012. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Le dispositif français pour l'Afghanistan in French. Defense.gouv.fr. 31st December 2011. Archived from the original on 1st May 2014. Retrieve 26 May 2012. France says Afghanistan troop pull out faster than expected. 43 Tote Bundeswehr Soldaten in Afghanistan. Mittelzeitung. 14th August 2011. Archived from original on 29 March 2012. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Grundlagen War on Bundeswehr. In German. Bundeswehr.de. Archived from original on 28 October 2010. Retrieve 26 May 2012. Shaban Dowling 11th.
Okay, fuck you. Get fucked. Go fuck yourself. You know what? You've lost me. I wanted to know where you are, how long have I got to go. I want to do things my way. Fuck you. You ain't doing shit, man. You ain't doing shit to me. I go up and down. Look, does it really tell you? No, it doesn't do nothing. Don't worry. We've cut it. If I press play now, it'll start again. And a stupid fucking thing. It really fucked it, everybody. Yeah, we wanted to know why about whatever it was they were talking about. They did that. They did that because they fucking wanted to do that. Because two towers went down at 9/11 or whatever it was, or anything, whatever it is. You fucked up, motherfucker. You make me upset now. You make me really upset. If I press play now, it'll start all over again. But I don't care how long I had it recorded. I have proved. I have proved. I have proved. I don't give a fuck. YouTube, subscribe to Intermix Sector. I'm so angry. I don't care what they were talking about, but it was real. It was real shit, and it was the real shit, and the shit was going on then, and it's going on now, and they don't want to go to the front line into Ukraine, front into the because they're in Kosovo in the line there against Serbia and Kosovo. What do you call it, in the front line? Not the front line. Anyway, NATO don't want to go to Ukraine. Anyway, to go in the front line or whatever it is, in the line for Ukraine. They don't want to save Ukraine. No, they don't want to save. They want to keep this going for years, because they've got nothing else pretty beautiful to do, Kill the humans with the virus. Don't take anyone for genocide. The Bible sucks. You fucked. How many gods? How many gods? I proved to you that this is a real shit. Fuck you. You fucked it up, mate. You fucked it up then.
Do the Taliban face potent armed resistance in Afghanistan? A year into their rule, armed political opposition to the Taliban remains persistent but sporadic, concentrated mostly in northern Afghanistan, and possibly fueled by the Taliban refusal to form an inclusive government and give other entities a share in power. The Taliban continue to hold power almost exclusively. The emergence and persistence of an armed opposition is in large part due to political exclusion. Ramiz al-Barat, the United Nations Deputy Special Representative for Afghanistan, told the Security Council in June. The National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, the main group opposing Taliban militarily, tried to carve out a stronghold in its historic base Panjshir Valley last year when the Taliban took the country over in a near blitzkrieg but could not hold out for long. The opposition group is very weak. It only survived 2 or 3 weeks in Panjshir Valley, so I think the Taliban is unfortunately in a stronger position, said Peter Bergen, Vice President for Global Studies and a Fellow at New America, a nonpartisan Washington think tank. Militiamen loyal to Ahmad Massoud, son of the late Ahmad Shah Massoud, take part in a training exercise in Panjshir Province, northeastern Afghanistan, Monday, August 30, 2021. The NRFA is led by Ahmad Massoud, the son of famed anti-Taliban military commander, Ahmad Shah Massoud, who followers called the Lion of Panjshir. The older Massoud commanded the Northern Alliance and, according to Bergen, received support from several countries including Tajikistan, Iran, Russia, and the United States. His son, however, has received nothing from these countries or any other country for that matter so far. The Taliban are in a stronger position than they were before 9/11. Bergen, who has written 7 books on terrorism and extremism, told VOA. Al-Qaeda assassinated Ahmad Shah Massoud just 2 days before the attacks on the United States in September of 2001 that led to the invasion of Afghanistan. U.S. weapons. The weapons and equipment left behind in Afghanistan after the withdrawal of the U.S. forces from Afghanistan last year and the collapse of the Western-backed republic in the country has also put Taliban in a stronger position and allowed them to use these weapons to further strengthen their grasp on power in the country. According to the U.S. authorities, the Taliban now have access to weapons worth tens of billions of dollars. An Afghan security analyst who, for security reasons, asked not to be named, told VOA, the Taliban are already using these weapons to suppress the armed opposition in the north. The Taliban have the upper hand in terms of military equipment because, according to U.S. officials, modern weapons worth $85 billion have fallen into the hands of this group, the analyst said. Bergen said armed opposition to the Taliban is difficult without support from other countries and organizations. I do not see any evidence that outside countries are really supporting the opposition movements, he said. Western diplomats in the region told VOA there is no appetite for supporting an armed resistance against the Taliban. Potential failure. RAND Corporation analyst Idris Rahmani, who closely follows developments in Afghanistan, seconds Bergen's assessment and warns that the anti-Taliban opposition will fail if it does not receive foreign support. Every war is won by its logistics and financial support, Rahmani said. Neither Russia nor Iran or Tajikistan are willing to match the support that Taliban are receiving. India alone might not have the interest to invest in their armed opposition cause, Rahmani added. Symbolism. Johnny Koskinas, a senior fellow with the International Security Program at New America, a Washington-based think tank, said he believes the NRFA's initial fight against the Taliban was more symbolic than real. He said it all boils down to the NRFA's long-term strategy. With ISIS, the Islamic State group, as a bigger threat, the Taliban will concentrate on countering this group over the NRFA, Koskinas said. Rather than rushing to failure, the NRFA must take the time to rebuild and establish defensive safe zones, not try to expand territory prematurely, he added. Koskinas, who worked in Afghanistan for years, said he believes that with safe zones and a sanctuary for persecuted former Afghan national security and defense forces who were disenfranchised after the departure of former Afghan President Ashraf Ghani from the country, the NRFA can really change the military situation its advantage. NRFA must create zones outside of Panjshir. This will take time, patience, intelligence, strategy, nuance, and sacrifices, he added. Afghan resistance movement and anti-Taliban uprising forces stand guard on a hilltop in the Astana area of Bazarak in Panjshir province on 2021, as among the pockets of resistance against the Taliban following their takeover of Afghanistan. Taliban recognition. While the armed opposition has not been able to secure outside support, the Taliban, too, have been unable to gain recognition almost a year into their return to power following a bloody 2-decade war that changed them from an insurgent force into a de facto state actor. Even Pakistan, deemed by some as Taliban's close ally, has not yet hinted at formally recognizing the group as a state actor in Afghanistan. Pakistani officials have said in recent months that they told the Taliban government that Islamabad will extend diplomatic recognition only after other nations do. In early July, the United States also said no foreign government is contemplating legitimacy for Taliban rule in Afghanistan. Donald Lu, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia, said that there is a global consensus when it comes to Taliban recognition. I think there's actually a global consensus to include Moscow and Beijing and Iran, that it's too early to look at recognition, Lu told VOA in a recent interview. Yes, some countries are beginning a very slow process of normalization of relations with the Taliban. No one is talking about formal recognition, he added. Pockets of resistance. The NRFA's armed groups are militarily active in northern Panjshir province, the neighboring Baghlan provinces Andar and Coast Wa Farang districts, and in the Warsage district of northern Takhar province. There have been reported clashes between the Taliban and NRFA in pockets of the north, with both sides claiming that they caused heavy causalities to the opposing side. The NRFA's media wing has been very active and regularly claims that they have killed, injured, and captured Taliban members. But Taliban officials deny these claims as baseless. For this story, VOA has reached out to Taliban officials for comment. They declined to talk about this issue. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid, however, has denied clashes between the Taliban and NRFA fighters in Panjshir province and Andarab area in the past, alleging that the issues reported by some rebel circles on social media are baseless. No one should worry. Thousands of forces of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan are present in Panjshir, Takhar and other areas. The enemy will not be allowed to make any move, Mujahid tweeted in Dari, one of the main languages of Afghanistan, in early May of this year. NRFA's side, despite skepticism of some Western experts and analysts, and the denial from Taliban about NRFA's activities and potential, the group has projected confidence and optimism about its struggle. The Taliban remain a terrorist group. Afghans definitely cooperate with the NRF. We have the support of the people of the country, Sibjatullah Ahmadi, NRFA's spokesperson told VOA. The resources the Taliban have at their disposal are not more than the resources of the communist government, Soviet Union-backed government in the 80s. But the people of Afghanistan were determined and overthrew the communist government, Ahmadi added. Frontline accounts. Major Gen Jalaluddin Yaftali, former commanding general of the 203 Corps of the former Afghan security forces, told VOA that he is actively leading fighters in north of Afghanistan. Our overall goal is to continue our struggle until our people and nation are rescued from oppression and tyranny, Yaftali told VOA. If God makes us victorious and enables us to retake Afghanistan, our government will be a federal and decentralized system, he added. Jamal Andarabi, who uses this pseudonym for security reasons, is a local commander of 15 to 20 young men in Andarab district of northern Baghlan province spoke, with VOA from Andarab area where men under his command actively engage the Taliban. We fight against terrorists to defend our language, ethnicity, geography and ethnic values, he said. The Taliban, with all the equipment they have been defeated in the last few days armed clashes in Andarab district. We are victorious in the battlefield, he added. Bergen, of Global Strategies, said that the odds favor the Taliban now as they exercise monopoly over the use of force and control almost the entire country. But things could change if the Taliban make the wrong move and Western security is threatened by terror groups emanating from Afghanistan. VOA Afghan Service contributed to this story. Pakistan, gunfight with militants kills 6 soldiers, civilian in Baluchistan. Pakistani authorities said Saturday that a drawn-out overnight gun battle with terrorists in southwestern Baluchistan province had killed 6 soldiers and a civilian, as well as the 6 attackers. 6 others were said to have been wounded. In the process of clearance operation, 7 sons of the soil, including a civilian, have embraced martyrdom while another 6 individuals, including a woman, have been injured. The military's media wing, the Inter-Services Public Relations, said the violence erupted Friday evening when well-equipped militants assaulted a main paramilitary compound about 100 kilometers north of the provincial capital of Quetta, the ISR said. The ensuing clashes and clearance operation had continued into Saturday morning, killing all 6 terrorists involved in the attack, according to the ISR. The assailants had taken families, including women and children, hostage in a residential block who were rescued by security forces. A recently emerged so-called Tehreek-e-Jihad Pakistan militant group claimed responsibility for the attack in natural resources rich but impoverished Baluchistan, bordering Afghanistan and Iran. The province routinely experiences attacks on security forces and installations. The violence is mostly claimed by ethnic Baloch insurgents, militants linked to the outlawed Pakistani Taliban, and those linked to the Islamic State group. Militant attacks have lately increased across Pakistan, particularly in northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, which also shares a large part of the country's long border with Afghanistan. Officials say the violence has killed hundreds of people, mostly soldiers and members of the Pakistani police force since the beginning of the year. Honduran teen dies in U.S. immigration custody. The mother of a 17-year-old who died this week in U.S. immigration custody demanded answers from U.S. officials Friday, saying her son had no known illnesses and had not shown any signs of being sick before his death. The teenager was identified as Angel Eduardo Meradiaga Espinoza, according to a tweet from Honduras Foreign Relations Minister Enrique Reina. Meradiaga was detained at a facility in Safety Harbor, Florida, Reina said, and died Wednesday. His death underscored concerns about a strained immigration system as the Biden administration manages the end of asylum restrictions known as Title 42. His mother, Norma Sarai Espinoza Meradiaga, told the Associated Press in a phone interview that her son wanted to live the American dream. Angel Eduardo left his hometown of Olanchito, Honduras, on April 25, his mother said. He crossed the U.S.-Mexico border some days later and on May 5 was referred to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which operates longer-term facilities for children who cross the border without a parent. That same day, he spoke to his mother for the last time, she said Friday. He told me he was in a shelter and not to worry because he was in the best hands, she said. We only spoke 2 minutes. I told him goodbye and wished him the best. This week, someone who identified himself only as one of her son's friends at the shelter called her to say that when he had awakened for breakfast, Angel Eduardo didn't respond and was dead. His mother then called a person in the U.S. who was supposed to have received Angel Eduardo, asking for help verifying the information. Hours later, that person called her back saying it was true that her son was dead. I want to clear up my son's real cause of death, she said. He didn't suffer from any illnesses and hadn't been sick as far as she knew. No one tells me anything. The anguish is killing me, she said. They say they are awaiting the autopsy results and don't give me any other answer. No cause of death was immediately available nor were circumstances of any illness or medical treatment. H said in a statement Friday that it is deeply saddened by this tragic loss and our heart goes out to the family, with whom we are in touch. A review of health care records was underway, as was an investigation by a medical examiner, the department said. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre called the news devastating and referred questions about the investigation to H. This was the first known death of an immigrant child in custody during the Biden administration. At least 6 immigrant children died in U.S. custody during the administration of former President Donald Trump, during which the U.S. at times detained thousands of children above the system's capacity. H operates long-term facilities to hold children who cross the border without a parent until they can be placed with a sponsor. H facilities generally have beds and facilities as well as schooling and other activities for minors. Unlike border patrol stations and detention sites in which detainees sometimes sleep on the floor in cells, advocates who oppose the detention of immigrant children say H facilities are not suited to hold minors for weeks or months, as sometimes happens. More than 8,600 children are currently in H custody. That number may rise sharply in the coming weeks amid the shift in border policies, as well as sharply rising trends of migration across the Western Hemisphere and the traditional spike in crossings during spring and summer. Angel Eduardo had studied until 8th grade before leaving school to work. Most recently he had been working as a mechanic's assistant. He had been a standout soccer player in Alanchito in northern Honduras since he was 7 years old, his mother said. The teenager had hopes of reuniting with his father, who left Honduras for the U.S. years ago, and earning money to support her and 2 younger siblings still in Honduras, his mother said. He had migrated with his mother's approval and financial support from his father in the United States, she said.
ABC Listen, podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
Hi, I'm Sam Hawley, coming to you from Gadigal Land. This is ABC News Day. Australia's natural resources like oil and gas belong to us all. But we get to see just a fraction of the super profits the global energy giants are making from them. So why didn't the government fix that in this week's budget when it desperately needs the revenue? Today, the ABC's energy reporter, Dan Mercer, on why the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, won't go further. Dan, we're going to chat about these rather minor changes the government has made to how it will tax the big gas giants in a minute. But first, it just reminds me, this topic, of the mining boom we lived through in the 2000s, because we're talking about a lot of money being made from a resource that we, as Australians, all own.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. Many listeners will remember that the federal government, and by extension the Australian public, received a huge and rather unexpected windfall during the mining boom, which ran from the early 2000s for a bit more than a decade.
The long-running mining boom has fueled a string of bumper profits, and now it's set to push Australian exports to record levels.
In 2003, the price of commodities like iron ore and coal began rising quite rapidly.
When Peter Costello looks into the cupboard for next May's budget, there'll be an embarrassment of riches.
And those prices stayed high for a long time.
The big earners are coal, aluminium and gold. And while Australia is making record dollars from minerals, it looks set to invest record
It generated money from royalties, mining taxes charged on companies that were extracting those minerals and selling them. And it was mostly the China, of course, which really drove the mining boom. And the idea is that these resources are finite. They belong to all Australians, and we only have one chance to realise their value.
And there's a debate, of course, Dan, about how that revenue was spent. Some people argue it was wasted on things like tax cuts and sort of one-off bonuses. But regardless, there was just a lot of money back then to throw around. So now let's have a look at gas.
They dot our landscapes and our coastlines, massive gas plants that extract and process natural gas for export and use here in Australia. But are we, the owners of that gas, getting a good deal?
Gas is in really high demand right now, isn't it? Are we having a bit of a boom again?
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to say, Sam. In short, the big gas providers are rolling in money at the moment. times have rarely if ever been so good.
Prices are high globally because European countries are looking for non-Russian sources of gas due to the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. Back in Australia, at the same time, more than a quarter of coal-fired power stations have recently experienced outages, meaning gas generators are facing more demand to help keep the nation's lights on, driving prices up even further.
Those revenues have led to really quite mind-boggling heights, and they're forecast to stay fairly high for the foreseeable future. And, you've seen that in the results posted by the big gas players, how much they're making at the minute. Chevron, the giant US multinational, racked up about $20 billion in profit from its Australian operations, which include some big LNG plants off Western Australia's north coast. For the 12 months to the end of December, there have been similarly spectacular results recorded by homegrown companies like Woodside and Santos.
Huge money. So now let's have a look down at this petroleum resources rent tax. It's a rather dull type of name for a tax, really. But anyway, the government's looking at changing it, but I think it's useful to actually consider how it operates now first. What is it? What does it do?
Yeah, perhaps a bit of an overview very quickly about how gas is, generally taxed in Australia, Sam. When it comes to the resource itself, which is, as you say, owned by the public, there are a couple of ways, principally, that it's taxed. One of those is a flat royalty that's typically levied by the states to onshore projects, and that applies regardless of whether a project is making money. The other is what's known as the PRRT, and that's really applied by the feds to offshore projects. It's supposed to capture any excess profits or windfall gains that a project might make, and it applies at the rate of 40%. And it differs to a royalty, obviously, because, it's not applied at a flat rate. It's designed to only click into gear when a project is in the money. Because the PRRT was conceived in the 1980s by the Hawke government, when Australia was still paranoid about energy security. It had only been a few years, really, in the late 80s, since the country was badly hit by the oil crises of the 1970s.
When I spoke to you earlier, I indicated that the sudden cutoff of oil from the Middle East had turned the serious energy shortages we expected this winter into a major energy crisis. That crisis is now being felt around the world.
And so the Hawke government was really, quite keen to do everything it could to encourage new development in oil projects in particular. And that's what PRRT is supposed to do, or was supposed to do.
Okay, so it's been around for quite some time, and there has been growing criticism of how it's actually working now.
Yeah, there has. And the long and short of it is that the tax is just poorly designed for Australia's gas industry. It's no longer fit for purpose in many ways.
Australia is in the midst of an enormous gas export boom, yet the Australian government reaps only a fraction of the revenue.
And that's because oil projects typically take much less time and much less money to bring online, and therefore they usually start paying the tax much sooner. But that's just not the case for LNG projects, which are enormously long-lived and complicated beasts that take eons and really huge licks of money to build.
A tax that's meant to share the profits with the community is actually failing to raise any new revenue. Huge new gas projects may deliver no tax benefits for decades.
Okay, so let's now have a look at what the government is going to change in regards to this tax. It's announced some alterations in the budget. I understand they're a bit minor, but what are they? How does it change?
In essence, the government wants to limit the extent to which gas producers can use costs to offset their liabilities. Right now, they can offset all of their cash flows, and the government wants to peg this back just a little bit. Jim Chalmers, the Treasurer, is proposing cap deductions at 90% of the annual cash flows of an LNG project. I won't go too far into the weeds, just keep that at a high level. But that basically just means that 10% of a project's eligible cash flows will be taxed at that 40% headline rate. According to the government, it'll collect an extra $2.4 billion over 4 years and $7 billion over 10 years. Now, that's a lot less than some are calling for, and it's way less than Mike Callaghan, a former high-ranking Treasury official who reviewed the tax for the Morrison government, said could be recovered by tightening the rules further. But it seems the government's opted for an approach which is kind of, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bushes.
Okay, so currently, oil and gas companies are able to fully deduct their project costs against income, but now, or from July 1 this year, this will be capped at 90%. So the criticism is that the government really hasn't gone far enough here, that they could be raising a lot more money.
I give the call to the Honourable Member for McKellar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Treasurer. Over the last 3 decades, Australia's petroleum tax has collected a paltry amount of revenue from the sale of our natural resources compared with other countries.
And, we need it, right? Because we've got these, high costs when it comes to healthcare, the NDIS, schooling, all that sort of thing. We need this money.
There is certainly a view that Australia is very generous in its treatment of global energy giants compared with other nations around the world. At the moment, we're collecting something in the order of $2.5 billion a year in PRRT, and for many years it was barely $1 billion. Some years it was less than $1 billion. The revenue from the taxes remained largely and relatively unchanged for 20 years now. I mean, if you look at a nation like Qatar in the Middle East, you'll see last year it expected to earn about $76 billion in tax from energy exports. It's a major producer of gas, so comparable to Australia in that sense.
Australia is projected to overtake Qatar as the world's biggest exporter of gas. But over the next decade, the tiny country's government will net $26.6 billion from its gas projects, compared with our $6 billion.
And the UK, £8.6 billion or $16 billion over the next 6 years, according to its forecasts. And Norway earned the equivalent of $133 billion in oil and gas tax revenue in the year to December just gone. They are numbers that dwarf what the Australian government is making.
Yeah, when we talk about $2.5 billion compared to $133 billion, it sure does dwarf our numbers. So why on earth, Dan, aren't we going after the big numbers like that? I mean, the energy giants, even if we do generate that sort of money, they'll still make a whopping profit, right?
Well, yeah, look, I mean, there's probably a few different factors at play, Sam. One is that the gas industry really is coming under pressure from all sorts of different fronts, and the government would know that. It's already had quite a few blues with the industry. The other thing is, Jim Chalmers was in Wayne Swan's office when Labor, under Kevin Rudd, Julie Gillard, tried to bring in the mining resource rent tax, which was kind of essentially copied off the petroleum resource rent tax. And that was a calamity.
Match over the super profits tax has taken another turn with both sides unveiling.
I think it's time the mining companies of Australia got used to the idea that they need to return a fairer share to all Australians.
The Minerals Council's launched an advertising blitz to fight back.
What will the proposed super tax mean Australian miners pay? 58%. By far the world's highest tax on mining.
The tax blew up in their face and it never really collected any revenue, so maybe he's got some scar tissue that's speaking here. Maybe the Treasurer has just decided that in this instance it would be better to use the old proverb, cause the least amount of hissing while plucking the goose.
Okay. So the government doesn't want the goose to hiss. So it doesn't want to tax the companies more. What? Because it's worried about a backlash. It doesn't want to upset the industry. It doesn't want the industry to hiss, right?
Look, that's... I mean, who knows? Who knows? It's probably worth bearing in mind that if the world is genuine about reining in emissions, these big LNG producers that have come online in Australia over the past 10 years or so, they may only have a couple more decades to really make hay from these resources. So, I think the calls for Australia to get a better return on the gas, they're unlikely to go away.
Dan Mercer is the ABC's energy reporter based in Western Australia. The former chairman of the Australian Consumer and Competition Commission, Rod Sims, says the government should have imposed a tax on the gas giants 3 times higher than it did. This episode was produced by Veronica Aphab, Flint Duxfield, Christine Gate and Sam Dunn, who also did the mix. Our supervising producer is Stephen Smiley. Over the weekend, catch This Week with Madeline Jenner. We'll be looking at the Medicare changes announced in the budget and whether they'll make it easier to see a doctor. I'm Sam Hawley. ABC News Daily will be back again on Monday. Thanks for listening.
Pakistan's PM orders police crack down on those involved in violence following Imran Khan's arrest, ABC News. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has ordered authorities to identify and arrest all those involved in violent acts after the former Prime Minister Imran Khan's arrest this week sparked deadly unrest. Key points. Pakistani authorities have been given 72 hours to arrest all those involved in violent acts seen after the arrest of former PM Imran Khan. Mr. Khan's arrest sparked deadly unrest across the nation earlier this week. Facebook, YouTube and Twitter were inaccessible in Pakistan on Saturday. Mr. Shahbaz said in a tweet on Saturday that he had given authorities 72 hours to arrest those connected to acts of violence seen in recent days. Mr. Shahbaz said all available resources would be made available to law enforcement as part of the operation, and that those arrested would be tried by anti-terrorism courts. Bringing these people to justice is a test case for the government, he said. Their cases will be tried by the anti-terrorism courts. It comes after a turbulent week in Pakistani politics with the detention and later release of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. Mr. Khan departed the court premises late on Friday night and headed towards his hometown Lahore amidst by security after a court granted him bail. His arrest in a land fraud case on Tuesday, which the Supreme Court ruled invalid and unlawful on Thursday, sparked violent protests by his supporters. They stormed military establishments, set ablaze a state broadcaster building, smashed buses, ransacked the top army official's house and attacked other assets, leading to nearly 2,000 arrests and the army being deployed in multiple cities. At least 8 people were killed in the violence, the spasm of unrest in a country that is facing economic crisis with record inflation, anemic growth and delayed IMF funding. Mr. Khan, who was expected to address his followers virtually later on Saturday, on Friday welcomed the court's bail order and said the judiciary was Pakistan's only protection against the law of the jungle. I must say I expected this from our judiciary, because the only hope now left, the only thin line between a banana republic and a democracy is the judiciary, he told journalists inside the court premises. Mr. Khan, 70, is a cricket star turned politician who was ousted as Prime Minister in April 2022 in a parliamentary no-confidence vote who was Pakistan's most popular leader according to opinion polls. Many cities in Pakistan for violent protests following his arrest by the anti-graft agency. Mr. Khan denies any wrongdoing. Facebook, YouTube and Twitter were inaccessible in Pakistan on Saturday after having been restored late on Friday, Reuters journalists said. The Ministry of Interior had instructed the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority to suspend mobile broadband services across the country and blocked access to Facebook, YouTube and Twitter on Tuesday night. The services were available again on Friday night, but on Saturday were again inaccessible, the journalist said. Reuters/ABC posted 5 hours ago, 5 hours as at 13 May 2023 at 11:22 p.m. Israel rules out truth with Islamic jihadists killed in West Bank on 5th day of fighting, ABC News. Israel has ruled out an immediate truth in Gaza, saying the onus was on Palestinian militants to stop launching rockets. While Islamic Jihad says it has prepared itself for months of confrontation as the two sides continue to exchange fire. Key points. The latest outbreak of violence has so far killed at least 33 Palestinians and 1 Israeli over the past 5 days. Egypt has been trying to mediate the truth between Israel and the Palestinians. A Palestinian official familiar with the talks described them as complicated and tough. We're not holding ceasefire talks. National Security Advisor Tzaki Hanpi told a municipal event near Jerusalem, adding that Israel's top priority was presently firing on militants and that Islamic Jihad's arsenal could be depleted within days. Two Palestinians were killed in an Israeli raid on the outskirts of Nablus in the northern West Bank, where clashes had erupted. The Palestinian Health Ministry said. A military spokesman said gunmen exchanged fire with Israeli forces. Islamic Jihad's armed wing said it would press on with rocket salvos as fighting entered the 5th day. The resistance prepared itself for months of confrontation, Islamic Jihad said in a statement. The Israeli military said aircraft struck Islamic Jihad command centers and rocket launches in Gaza. Huge clouds of smoke rose as loud explosions ripped through areas bombed. In the Deir al-Balah area of the central Gaza Strip, a building was flattened as houses nearby were knocked down. There were no reports of casualties as residents sifted through piles of rubble. Destruction is miserable, the mind doesn't accept it. A resident, Marwan al-Daroui, told Reuters. Airstrikes on a house also damaged the nearby Shuhada al-Akifa hospital, wounding a number of nurses and patients with flying shrapnel, Abu Zaha. The hospital's director said. Israel's military says it has made every effort to limit civilian casualties and damage to houses and accuses Islamic Jihad of deliberately locating its command centers in residential areas. From dawn, Gaza militants fired rockets, setting off sirens and sending Israelis across the border running to bomb shelters. At least 2 people were badly wounded by shrapnel, Israel's ambulance service said. Egypt pushes for truth. Egypt has been trying to mediate the truth of the latest outbreak of violence, which has so far killed at least 33 Palestinians and 1 Israeli. At least 4 women and 6 children have died in Gaza, an impoverished coastal territory blockaded by Israel and Egypt since 2007. In Israel, 1 woman was killed when an apartment was hit by a rocket from Gaza near Tel Aviv. A Palestinian official familiar with the truth talks described them as complicated and tough, but also said that Cairo was pressing ahead with its efforts. 6 top commanders of the Iranian-backed Islamic Jihad have been killed since Tuesday when Israeli forces launched a campaign against the group, which it said was planning attacks. Israeli military officials have said they have seen no sign that Hamas, the Islamist group that controls the Gaza Strip, has fired missiles itself and airstrikes have so far targeted only Islamic Jihad sites. Islamic Jihad, the largest armed group in Gaza after Hamas, has since fired more than 1,000 rockets, some deep into Israel. Israel's Mr. Hanpi said its arsenal had stood at 6,000 rockets. Islamic Jihad has not provided details on its weaponry, but 5,000 remaining projectiles would enable it to keep up an intense rate of fire for several days. That timeline would likely change for Hamas to join the fighting. Like Hamas, Islamic Jihad spurns coexistence with Israel and preaches its destruction. Top ministers of Israel's religious nationalist government rule out any state fought by Palestinians in territories captured by Israel in the 1967 Middle East War. Reuters. Posted 7 hours ago, 7 hours Agazat 13 May 2023 at 9:07 p.m. Updated 5 hours ago, 5 hours Agazat 13 May 2023 at 10:38 p.m.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna talk about things, and I'm gonna cut it. I can't go any further now. Oopala. I'm supposed to watch the boxing KSI, the YouTube is on, but won't let me watch it. I got it on my channel, which is live TV, free live sports streaming, but it's not coming up. KSI, I can see. Let me see what I can see. Wait up. I can see UFC, Matt Brown, Kurt McGee, UFC fight, Jordan Carp, must be Soccer Shabab, Al-Kaba versus Man, NCAA, whatever that is, Utah, Notre, Argentinian Premier League, National, Ireland, First Division, Uruguay, Serbia, North Macedonian basketball, Serbia. The boxing is on. I don't know where to watch it. I don't know. Anyway, we keep selling all this stuff to every country in the world, right. And when they get there, they start putting phrases like, okay, we bought this from Australia, we bought this from Australia, we bought all this stuff, right? We bought oil, we bought gas, we bought this, we bought that. And Australia did not argue the point and put any taxes. And I didn't do anything. We were cool about it. We were happy that trillions of whatever money we were making, right. But when they got to their country, who bought it, right? They got to their country. They said, phrase one, it'll cost you this. This is how much it costs. Then, and 3 months later, they say, phrase two now, it's gone up $7. And they said, what? Gone up $7? What's $7? What's that mean? Oh, no. Now it's 4 times the amount now. What? What are you on about? And they said, oh, no, it's all right. If, say, Vietnam, China, Colombia, Chile, Argentina, Germany, and all that. And the second part, they started putting it up so high, they didn't care, you know. They said, oh, you need it? We'll see how you need it out. Wow. Everybody's going, what the hell? What are they doing? What do they have to do? Okay. And I bite my tongue. This is not happening. Why doesn't it happen in the United States? That is 4 times the amount. Okay, yeah, you're lying. How much is bread in Chile or something like that, or in Iraq or something? How much is that? And I said, oh, it's like $5 a bag. Huh? What? Sometimes the better bread is $9. What? What are you on about? What is it? Okay, in Australia, the bread that is made from Woolworth or Aldi or the supermarket, they make it right there, and it's $2.30. And I said, oh, yeah, right. I said, I'm going to take a photo of it and show you it's $2.30. Okay, no worry. You can take a photo of it, intermix hector. You can take a photo of it. And I said, what were you crying for? Okay, that $2.30 compared to my money, it'll be like 700 lira, or peso or something. Like that. What are you on about? It's heaps of money over here. So sometimes if you have, say you're saving and you saved that money to go overseas, right? All right, I don't know what I'm saying, but you catch a plane in Australia, and you go and catch a plane, and I said, it's going to cost you $3,200 one way, and $3,200 back. I said, that's almost $7,000. That's a lot of money. And I said to the person I was going to go and visit, I said, I got a suspicion, something to tell you. It's going to cost me this much to get there and all this, can I just give you the money instead of me visiting you? And they said, oh yeah, go ahead, here's the bank. In seconds, we were sending the money over there. And in seconds, as soon as the money go over there, I don't know how long, Western Union, where my uncle was doing, by in seconds. It was insane what was going on now. And they said, oh yeah, but the company got $68, and then over there they got another 40, so that's 100. They lost 100, and plus that's all right. They still got heaps of money. They can buy a lot of medication, clothes, a car, and all that. I'm going, wow. So for me, that I saved that money, my uncle is giving it away to the family because he felt vulnerable. He felt like crying and couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I had to do that. So the Western Union got $78. The other part over there got $40, and the rest was given to that bank account that I went to. Right? And it was all silly. I don't know how that worked. I got no idea. Don't ask me. I don't know. Do not know that. I do not know that. Like you could come here and sit next to me and you go, okay, by the way, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this. These 3 things you're going to do. Can you do them? Yeah, I can do anything you want me to. And the person, huh? Why you like that? Like what? What happened? What have I done? You're stupid. I know I am. If you were sitting next to me, I would be telling you. Here we go. Okay. So you did save that $7,000. How long did it take you to save that $7,000? And I said, a few months, but those months went quick, and in between I spent other money, like while I was saving. So I think it took me like 7,000, about 8 months. 8 months to save 7,000, and I was meant to go a trip over to Chile, and I was meant to bring someone. I have other money that was in the other account, and it also took me a long time, like a year, 2. I don't know. Anyway, if you were sitting next to me, you'd be going, "You're an idiot." Oh, I know. What? Oh. I said, "You're an idiot." I said, "Yes, I am." So what? What are you going to stop me now? And the person next to me, don't worry, you're an idiot. You have all these things around you, the city, the bank, your family, your friend. You're an idiot. You never think. You never put it in perspective. You never do it the right way. I says, I'm goofy. I don't know. Why didn't you, in the last 2 months that just went past, why didn't you save money? No, I couldn't save any. I was buying my tobacco and I said, and so the money that was left over after you bought your tobacco and your food and your jumper, how much was left? I said, what are you on about? And I said, you can't. No. Let me roll my cigarette. That is what we need to be discussed next to a person that is going to do that. They're going to debate and say, you're an idiot. Completely idiot. You could have had beautiful things. I said, no, I don't, because I don't have a girlfriend or a friend that is very, very nice. All my friends that I've got are, some are drug addicts, some are silly, some are that, some have got a lot of money, some are very good people, but they don't come to my house all the time because they don't like my area, because my area's got a little bit of druggy, people on drugs, and it's stupid. And then the person next to me, who's sitting next to me, will work all this out and will say, okay, I said, oh, and I'll show them the book. I got a beautiful book where this person and this other person is written down how, when, who, and how to mash up a brain like mine and fix it, and you can live a really good life with Hector. Intermix Hector YouTube. I want to roll this CD, and I'll explain a little bit more after this. Okay, I've done the rollie. That wasn't hard. I smoke cigarettes. I'm 167 centimeters tall, not very tall. I'm 45 years old. All right. And I have to pay my bills. I have to do all these beautiful things. I have to go to the office, the commission, whatever. I've got to go all these places, and I got to go Tuesday, every second Tuesday, to the building for creative writing and playing the music and playing computer games and having coffees and lunch and all that at the building. It's called One Door Mental Health. I got to go on Wednesdays, every Wednesdays, to the men's group. The community service comes and takes me to the men's group. I call my mother. She's Chilean. We've been here for 34 years. We are beautiful people. If you think I am disgusting, all this, no way. You can't prove me wrong. I'm supposed to be watching this KSI boxing, but it's not on. I know where it is. I have to, anyway, let's not stress out about some boxing shit, all right? Anyway, the love that you've got, myself, it's an inspirational, it's a thing that you need to control, it's a thing that you need to plan out, it's a thing that you need to work out, how to mash, gush, gash, dash, tush, like we can work together. We can do it together, we can make it together, we can try it together. You can kill my brain and you say, ha, we got it all good now. Well, that's what you think. If you want to ask me a question and go, hey, you're goofy, you're stupid, I say, that's what you think. It's good. It's good. I like that. I really appreciate that. Yeah. I like that. I don't care. However you want to do it, or however you want to ask. I'm Intermix Hector. YouTube. Mash up this, dash. Australia is a beautiful country. And also, I can save the money, but it takes me 11 months, you understand? It takes me a little while. I've got zero now in the bank, but if I start saving on the account that I've got, it'll take 11 months and I can come and visit you, or I can come and get you, or whatever it is. I don't know how it is. I always think like that the world revolves in love. You love, you're good at painting, you're good at doing things, you move your legs, you move your arms, you move your hands, you move your body, you cackle your tongue, whatever it is. It's a primarily, number one is that I have all these things to do and I never get to do. I just goofy, whatever. You might call me stupid, you might call me whatever, but I'm not like you. If you were next to me, you'd be going, you can only do this with your money. You can only do this however you go, wherever you're going, and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I mean? And the person, because I've got 2-bedroom complex, I've got upstairs and 2-bedroom. You can live in one or something. I don't know how it works. Maybe you have to ask permission, or you have to do this, you have to do that. I don't know how it works. Don't ask me. I'm Intermix Hector YouTube channel. I'm nervous now. I'm very, very nervous, telling the world that I'm goofy, that I can save and I can do this, I can do that. I can go to Germany, I can go to Pakistan, I can go to Philippines, I can go wherever you want me to. But it'll take a time to save that cash. I'm going to light this ciggy now. This inspirational thing, let me see. Go back. This is the ABC in it. This is the ABC.
Nos saltamos la presentación.
Seguramente una plataforma, por eso que todo este muro debe haber estado adornado con frisos, ¿no?
Qué bien chambeado, ¿no?
Claro, que no me acuerdo. ¿Cuánto será?
¿Puedes ponerte ahí, Peter?
¿En esta zona?
Sí, en esta.
Archaeologists discover 4,000-year-old temple in western Peru, ABC News. Peruvian archaeologists have found a 4,000-year-old temple in the Miraflores archaeological site located in western Peru. Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos Unzana announced on Friday. Key points. A chicana, an ancient cross symbol, was found carved into the temple. Experts believe the temple was used for religious ceremonies. The discovery evidences the importance of the chicana symbol in ancient Peruvian cultures. Experts believe people carried out religious ceremonies in the U-shaped temple. Unzan archaeologists also found a chicana, an ancient cross symbol, carved into a frieze. This chicana or southern cross is the oldest complete representation that has been found in the Andes, said archaeologist Peter Van Dalen. He said the temple located in the lower valley of the Chancay River was where they carried out excavations and discovered the architecture that formed part of the temple. We have also identified a series of religious, cult activities that took place inside this pyramidal structure, and we have been able to identify on the back wall structure the representation of a chicana carved in a frieze, he said. Mr. Van Dalen said the discovery of this carving evidences the importance of the chicana symbol in ancient Peruvian cultures. It evidences the long cultural and religious tradition related to this symbol that developed from as early as 4,000 years ago up to the Inca period in a continuous way. Reuters. Posted 11 hours ago, 11 hours Agas at 13th May 2023 at 5:30 p.m.
Okay. I know what you're gonna say. I'm gonna say this, but I know what you're gonna say. I already debated this, and the only why I won the debate is because what's his name? The Mexican guy has proven to me that it was true what I was gonna say. Anyway, I'm gonna say that the ocean had a god or a deity where it looked after the ocean. Then he had the forest look after the by a deity. There was giants. There was this all in Mexico, all around. Before the Spanish got there, it was all good. It was all good. So good. Nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. So good. So good. They had all these religion people with superpowers and all these different gods and different ideas, and they just prayed to this, prayed to that, and they did it so hard that it was all right. They did it. They did it. I don't ask me. Don't ask me. Anyway, they did it. They did it. You know what I mean? They did it. They did these things that they had a sexy person, a sexy man, or whatever you want to call it, or a sexy deity, or sexy white extraterrestrial, or in super god, or whatever you call it. Anyway, it was all there, mate. It was all there, mate. It was all there. Anyway, Peru or Chile or Argentina or Venezuela or Panama or whatever you call it, they had 399 years, 500 years ago, they had all different anything. I think I found the boxing, by the way. I found it, man. I found it. Lupando Jack, he's saying. 3 official in the ring. The next person, welcome in the ring. Anyway, let's just forget about this boxing. There was all this religion, all these things going on. Somehow the up in the sky or something has all disappeared. Like if you think the Earth is like a soccer ball, right? How do you go to the end of the soccer ball or the Earth or whatever you call it? Go to the other side and keeps going rotating round and round and round. Okay, I don't know how a boat can go to the end and then pretend to go on the other side. Anyway, Anyway, I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know anything. I do not know. I know that they do witchcraft and Dia de la Muerte celebrations. They celebrate Satan in Brazil. Many things. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. I could be here on YouTube, or I could be reading things, and I could say this, that, some bad words or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm gonna cut it now. I'm gonna cut it. I'm really gonna watch this boxing now. I'm really gonna. Don't know. I don't know. But when I talk to my mom and my uncles and my grandma and all that, yeah. The myth of that, the myth of this, the tradition of this, the tradition of that, that, and there's more. Look at this. There's more. I'm like, Mom and Dad, I mean uncles and grandma, stop it. I do not understand it. No, this boy is silly. You know that you go up to the mountain, and the mountain's up here, and you go right up here. It will take you about 49 minutes to get there, walking. Yes. And you gotta go, then when you get there in 48, you're gonna walk up this hill, and then on the other side, there she is, a lady and a group of horses, animals, everything, and they do witchcraft. No, not witchcraft. They do the medical purpose thing. And I'm going, what are you on about? What the hell? What's this mantra or chakra or anyway? I'm lost. Intermix Hector could go somewhere. I don't know where it is. We could go to or something, and we can try ayahuasca. We can try. And they're going, Hector, you're going over the top. I don't care. I like sexy people. I like nice people. I like beautiful people. I'm crazy. I'm an alternative person. I'm an alternative, right? I'm about to cry now. I'm an alternative. If you haven't had a chance to listen to all my podcasts, to all my things that I do, my family are proud of me. They're saying, yeah, at least you haven't died yet. We don't really care. We're still alive. Because over there, wherever, in Chile or something, they say, you went the wrong street. What happened? They shot me in the leg. Oh, why don't they shoot you in the leg here in Australia? What, do I have to be shot in the leg now? What's wrong, Mum? What do I have to do? In certain parts of Chile, if you walk in the wrong street and you see a man or something, and they come up, you give me your shoes, and you wouldn't give them your shoes, right? So they shot you in the leg and they got your shoes, right? Bang, bang, bang. Simple as that. I said, Mum, here in Australia, I can walk 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, in Sydney, Melbourne, the very dangerous places. Yeah, but it's all right. My mum said, just behave and do your things. I said, yeah, I am. I'm proud of Australia. I'm proud how I live. And you gotta see it to believe it. Like, I'm so beautiful. I'm the best you ever. Don't worry about it. You will understand when you die. You will say that person from YouTube was praying to my alternative. He was doing praying. He was praying to God. He was doing crazy things. He was the best I ever got. He was going to take everyone into the champion garden of the death of eternity, and you will live forever. God is in me with Jesus, the Son of God. All we are. You're beautiful, and you will remember me. Intermix Hector, YouTube. Remember that, because one day you will not understand. You will miss it. You'll go you missed it. I was gonna if I have to fight Mike Tyson, or I have to fight whoever it is, I'll do it. I'll one day, like I said in one of my bobcasts or whatever I do this, I said I was playing basketball, and then suddenly, after about an hour later, we started playing football, touch footy, whatever it is, all different sports, and doing exercise. An hour later, I collapsed, and I was trying to say, I can't get up, but my voice was not there. I had no energy. I had to be taken to the hospital. Once I got to the hospital, they something, they put put an injection in me, did all that. I thought, oh, yeah, I'm back to normal. And I'm arguing, I want out of it, I want out of it. And the doctor came, okay, you want out of it. See you later, bye. I signed a paper, boom. I was gone. If I have to break a breaker, smash the cement, I'll have to do that. I go to the pub, I already lost some tooth in front of me for being an idiot. My mother always, why don't you come marry my son? 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 I say, Mum, don't know. I see sexy people surfing, walking the dog. I see all these beautiful people around. It's like I'm living near the ocean, and you know what I mean. You would come to me, or I don't know how, I'll keep writing you, I'll send you photos, I'll do anything. Anyway, intermix Hector, you ever forget me, and if you ever, never, in your lifetime, you be prayed for, you be doing for, this is what it's all about, God. I don't know how to pray. My mother can pray beautifully. My mother can pray beautiful. She can pray, but oh wow, the way she prays is like, my God, on her knees and praying like mad. I am embarrassed now. Anyway, I'm going, bye. You don't want to hear any more of me. All I got to tell you, I'm an alternative for the good, the best. If you want to go to heaven with me, come with me to heaven. You understand? I'm killing myself every day because I don't have a girlfriend, apparently. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't care. I love men, I love women. Who cares? Who knows what happens to intermix Hector at the end of 9 years from now? If I die, will you care? Do you know how? Intermix Hector, subscribe. I love you.